dealing with the mind. There we go. You should take your nigga, use it on your next line. Niggas sick like that, so it's that time. I just shake the pussy out of nigga like a sex crime. I said it with some niggas that the vet shine. You can make the band when they air it on the next time. And off the green like them, let me flex my middle position. That was your spot, come get it back time. And I'll be waiting patiently in the front line. Jamming at them, sending them hooks, hit them punchlines. And I ain't gotta tell you about the gun line. Nigga told you out of my space, another gun crime. This nigga's a stunt, this is my fun time. And I hit the lunchtime. And I don't mean to hurt on the floor, so fuck you. I can do this shit better than your nigga, fuck you. When you speak about the sex, in the heart of this sense, and you're retarded if you stand, nigga, fuck you. And in the heart of the grace, like you lost in the grace, so scream that you say shit, fuck you too. When you speak about the sex, in the heart of this sense, and you're retarded if you stand, nigga, fuck you. And in the heart of the grace, like you lost in the grace, so scream that you say shit, fuck you too. Sneeze on all, the breeze on all. Don't you had you a win, I'm blowing trees. Do I sound better? Searching for him, the jump people, the leaves on him. Couldn't hide from this mafia black. I got the order, I'm like, which Montana is that? I like French, but Tony took me straight to the back. He said, I start stepping. What the fuck is that? Shit is easy, and it's not an effort. You wanna make it big, just have to feel man lessons. Sneak talking weapons, and we only use them all. Say the words can hurt, I'm leaving niggas scarred. Do it like a dirty, give it to you raw. Niggas think it's martial, but it's martial law. And I don't mean to hurt him with balls, but fuck you. I can do this shit better than y'all. Nigga, fuck you. When you speak about the sex, in the heart of it says, and you're retarded if you stand, nigga, fuck you. And in the heart of the grace, like you're lost in the grace, so sweet is your section, fuck you too. When you speak about the sex, in the heart of it says, and you're retarded if you stand, nigga, fuck you. And in the heart of the grace, like you're lost in the grace, so sweet is your section, fuck you too. Hey, Indigenous Black man. Thank y'all. Hey, Take Me and Shay. Thank y'all. I just got off the phone with the internet peoples. Lord, that's the second rude person, second day in a row. I just gave him the rudeness right back. How you gonna sit up here and tell me to unplug it? Hold on. How you gonna tell me to unplug the router from the wall, then ask me, can I run a speed test on the wireless?
Both them common, both them put on the mask. I can see the deception. Call them out, this is fraud detection. Cause it's too many goldfish talking like piranhas. On the other hand, wolves and sheepskin. Both them common, both them put on the mask. I can see the deception. Call them out, this is fraud detection.
In my polite, if I name man, take it, they should name. Wanna snatch the light from your savings. That's it through your conscious community for banning with change. Written out of rape while you're raping. Right in front of your face while you say things engaging. Your brain on the side, you keep thinking. Is it the pride or the thing that you better rock me for? Leader with a full sense of gravitas. Housing scam, sovereignty, bullshit. Thousand plans to rob you from his pulpit. A way of Wi-Fi blockers for your protection. Yes, and sound the alarm. This is for the
too many goldfish talking like piranhas. On the other hand, wolves and sheepskin. Both them common, both them put on the mask. I can see the deception. Bring them out, this is fraud detection.
I don't put some motherfucking soul. Seen a nigga turn on his own homeboy.
Oh, text me, Shay, baby, you on the backup channel. Good thing you are, but
envy like cucumber skin. Got you scheming on kicking in the door where he live. I'm fixed down in his own motherfucking.
Here go the main channel later.
Mom and his goddamn kids. You
Crystal, stop being a brat.
Was a Riddler. You need to read the signs, see the red flags.
Do you need to go outside? DJ!
Ask you how much you pay for this and that. Plotting on your dumb ass phone way back. And you told them all your feelings, you was blind to the fact. They smile in your face, I'll stab you in your back. Just a big hunk of cheese for a motherfucking rat. Kindness is perceived as weakness. Trust me, what you kill is deep shit. My son was so close, look like a damn dot. Best friends one day, next day they are out. It smiles ain't nothing but a damn costume. They all parasites, so I stay well groomed. Fraud ass niggas lead your ass to your doom. Call me crazy, but I see shit growing at the
Too
moon.
many goldfish talking like piranhas. On the other hand, wolves and sheepskin, both of them common. Both of them put on the mask. I can see the deception calling out. This is fraud detection, cause it's too many goldfish talking like piranhas. On the other hand, wolves and sheepskin, both of them common. Both of them put on the mask.
Remember what I told you.
Bring them out. This is fraud detection.
Little fishies never big with it. I'm at the gas, I'm silly on my way to get a home.
Let me ask you, Shay. So, did that one come up instead of TripCTreehouse and you just clicked on it?
Hold up, and if your pockets swole up, open the business, what's the hold up? Let me guess, you got it figured out. And you balling out of control, you move to a big eyes. But what about a dyke? It's your nigga on the tennis street. Who made you think you right? And who made you they pipe it when you lock in the bank? You got extra years cause you been willing to sing. Niggas choose fear over loyalty. Hope you got a little chance, that's a way when you bond and your loyalty. It's a different fucking game for a big dog. It's every time, but it's different when they big dogs.
Real talk, now you pissed off. Dealing with niggas with false intentions causes dissension. Now you wanna call your henchmen up and ride on your enemies. So deep in the shed, around the bubble,
Okay.
killing sprint sheesh, that boy off the leash.
So we just be giving y'all either or, it don't care. Here, take this.
Now you can't rest till his eyes hit the point of that bro. Yeah, I see him talking like piranhas.
That's good to know it's hitting the algorithm, though.
Both of them common, both of them put on the mask. I can see the deception coming out. This is fraud detection, cause it's too many goldfish talking like piranhas. On the other hand, wolves and sheepskin, both of them common.
Jimmy, did you go over to my backup channel yet and get your wrench? Let me pause this for a second. Black Sector Mafia, that's Port City, YJ the author, Neutral, Nika, NICCA. You know, and a couple of others. But if you look for Black Sector Mafia on Spotify, you will find them there. But that ain't what I put the music on pause for. I forget. So let's go back to the music, and then if I remember, I'll tell y'all. Okay.
Black Sector Mafia.
Shadow. Y'all can hear me now. Hold on, I'm gonna drop the second channel in the main chat. That one. Yesterday, I had, where did I go? Oh, yeah, getting something to eat. She was so rude. I ordered DJ, is there anything else I can get for you? Yeah, I won't. My internet was acting up, so I had to go down and call the internet people, but I just came back up. Yeah, can you hear me? Didn't you just hear me? I said the internet was acting up. I had to call the people, so I'm back up. That's why I told you again. Just come on in the room. Hi. Right. Gary a mess. After I finished telling him what happened, he said, Trip, what happened? No, I knew what it was as soon as I started running the speed test. A signal needed to be shot down the line to clear the signal out. So I done called, and when I walked out of the room or whatever, I unplugged the router, not thinking about I needed to tell y'all I was finna unplug the router, I'll be back. That was my bad on y'all. Then as soon as I unplugged the router, she gonna ask me, talk about, can you run a wireless speed test? No, I can't, because you just asked me to unplug the router. Man, I'm trying. No. You don't understand. I'm a whole IT. I started out this phone call telling you everything that I had already done so you could check it off your little checklist so we could go exactly the way I needed to be. You shooting that signal down the line. Now you want to do shit again. I said, can you? So pull it back up. It ain't working still. It like shot up and then it went right back down. So I said, give it a couple of minutes. Needless to say, my internet is working and a technician's supposed to be coming out tomorrow. You know that ain't no problem, baby. But yesterday, the lady just had attitude, then gave him the fruit food. Half the order was missing. Hey, M-Mac. Right, M-Mac. He always come over here. It's like he have to get his fix. He been doing that shit for years, yo. That's why I just be like, man, what you want? Because he gonna come pester me till I eventually let him on. So we might as well have a cordial conversation. We was having too much fun last night for me to let anybody fuck it up. You know, so get your ass up here. We gonna answer some questions. Put a one in the chat if y'all want to go back over that mess from last night, because I know a lot of y'all wasn't here because y'all was sleeping y'all beds. I was not expecting that, yo. First, Melissa came in with the, with the save on polite. Then right after that, we started talking about Nature Boy and that filthy guy I don't know no more pull up. I'm gonna quit calling him that. I'm not gonna call him Frankie no more because he say he don't like it, so I'm gonna call him Si. And just leave it at that. If I even have to call him anything, because I usually don't call him anything. What is that song I was listening to earlier? I wanted y'all to hear that. So let me cue this up. I mean, we here for people that have committed real acts, not, just because they ain't do what we wanted them to do. So I ain't sitting up here saying it like I'm giving Filthy Frank a pass. No, I'm not. Y'all can get that out y'all heads right now. But actively, he ain't out there doing shit. Ain't nobody accusing. Y'all already know how it go. Y'all already know how it go. So I ain't got. You know that I know that you know that I know that you know. Because we click like this. I'm going to go ahead and delete these two from earlier because can't nobody understand these joints anyway. While I'm here. Oh boy, was snapping. Dark Alchemist, peace and prosperity. Once again, we back this time. Yo, it's the Mad Trip C. The internet people tried to take us down, yo, but we stronger than that. Positive energy, family. I'm out. And Mad always be bugging. I forgot one thing. Like, share, and subscribe. We going to the moon, family. To the moon. I'm out. Oh, and for all of y'all content creators amongst us, let me put this on pause so everybody hear me. For all y'all content creators amongst us, the newest bot is the one speaking Spanish. If you notice, the part that is highlighted in blue says something like pornatita or some shit like that. That's a bot. They ain't praising you in Spanish. They ain't having a discussion on your channel. That's a bot to a porn site. You see the title. What's next? We just talking, Dark Alchemist. We just talking. Chuck had technical difficulties just like I did, but his are more hardware related, so we pushed it back to Saturday. But that's great for everybody because Saturday is usually the day that people's is off. You get your snacks and your snuggies and make sure you run all your errands Friday. Run all your errands Friday. Get your snacks. Get your snuggies. What happened to Kwame? I think Kwame got porn bombed last night. Not by Sinetta though. Sinetta don't do no creepy shit like that. Because I saw Demas was live earlier. Shout out Demas the takeover. Demas Talinchi the takeover. And I hopped up on his panel a little bit earlier today. And he had said something about he had got porn bomb. So I guess they running around porn bombing people. But me, I'm just playing with videos to see which one look best. Y'all help me pick. I mean, y'all ain't said nothing about it. Which one y'all like better? I mean, we got fire. He was over here for like 3 hours, Dark Alchemist. Blue. Then we have the blue flames, of course. But yes, we gonna let me pull it up because I done already found it. Yeah. The Wednesday discussion, time to pay the piper. It was 3 hours, 4 hours, 37 minutes. Suspicious because this person always willingly turns on their camera when they come up here. Because they know how I am. Why you in the bed, nigga? No wonder you wouldn't cut your damn camera on. At least you cut it right back off. What you want, man?
I'm here to talk to my girl. I ain't see you in a minute. How you doing, baby?
Okay, you're back.
How you doing, boo? I ain't hear from you in a minute. That's why I'm just checking in to see how you doing. I see you still going in on Brother Polite.
Of course, I'm always gonna be on Polite.
You know, I gotta come check in with my boo-boo, see how you doing.
Now you know, but I respect Cynthia. Don't be calling me your boo-boo.
Boo-boo is just a deal of friendship.
I'm from down south. You know how I am. You from New York. I'm from down south. Respect my boundaries, please.
You know, I just love your accent. I just love the accent. I'm being honest. I'm just being real with it.
But Frank, sent you over here.
You know,
What the hell going on, dude?
I don't like when people call me Frankie, but you have such a taste to it when you say Frankie. I love when you say it.
Make me never want to say it again.
For real, say it for me one more time, please. Just one more.
No.
Say Frankie one more time.
Here's the thing why I don't say it. You can't corral your
It
people on that.
just do something to me when you call my name Frankie, you know?
How did you feel when you saw Nature Boy on the news?
I was like, damn, I knew they was gonna get the nigga because to me, I told you he was like a baby Dr. York, and I seen it coming in the making. You know, it's just the whole Dr. York playing out again. That's all
You had to put the show like a week.
I know I had it on my show, and it's because of my show. I really believe that the feds was watching that shit, and they had my show on the damn news. Did you know that?
They had everybody on the news. Yeah, I'm right by Atlanta. I get like news.
Yo, I got somebody that's powerful.
Get out the window.
Interviewing tomorrow that comes out of that camp, and so the sister gonna come on tomorrow and drop.
Lord, don't tell me he gonna have Maya on here today. Somebody go check his channel real quick. Somebody check his channel and see.
Yeah.
Just wait, Dark Alchemist.
You hear about Umar? Cause that's fun for you.
Okay, let me pause this real quick.
Quick.
It doesn't do any good to press somebody on their lies who know for a fact is not gonna answer you. It does no good. So just get the answer they gonna give and pick out what needs to be picked out of it and leave the rest alone. Otherwise, you're gonna give yourself a big ass headache and probably a sore throat because you're gonna end up yelling.
Oh, Johnson?
You're not a beat in the store from Pennsylvania, so we next.
Hold on.
We know this, Dark Alchemist. You preaching to the choir.
Hold on, do I still?
In this case, Frank, Sinetta Studios, Black News 102. Now y'all think I got that audio back? Kind of like clean it. Yeah, M.A.
Soliciting donations in the name of Frederick Douglass, Marcus Park, and G Academy.
Oh man, this is getting crazy.
Getting? It's past. It's
crazy, man.
I'm saying, how you feel? That's cold. Like,
I don't really feel nothing. I mean, that's all them. I brought them out. Now they on their own. They left and they went on their own. So it's not my responsibility no more. They on their own. They not health conscious and nothing like that. So.
I mean, but don't you feel some type of guilt because you kind of boosted these people up in the community?
Why would I feel? Hold on, sis. You crazy, man. Why would I feel any guilt? No, they their own man.
You want some shine on your platform. I'm not saying that because out there in the jungle with Nature Boy.
Okay, check this out. Bill Cosby got shine on damn near every goddamn news station. A lot of people, Oprah Winfrey interviewed them. She don't feel any kind of way.
So we had the conversation. So
right, but she don't feel.
You hear the tiredness in my voice right there. Hey Nicole, hey boo. You hear the tiredness in my voice right there. That's because we have literally had the same conversation off and on for like 5 years. Every time he come over here, you couldn't get on the panel last night. I didn't see anybody come up. I didn't see you come up. I heard the thing click a couple of times and nobody came up, but I thought that was him. You got my number. You can always call me. My mic is powerful enough. Hold on. Let me refresh the link and then send it again. Sometimes it be acting wonky. Sometimes the restream link me done messed up because I was having internet problems earlier. This is my third time's the charm. This is my third time trying to go live today. I'm slipping in Remy's slot because Remy has family things to take care of today. So I'm steering the ship. Where we going? Shit, we don't know. But hop on up, darling. Oh, let me go ahead and close this because I don't need it no more. I'm going to play this till you get here.
Were you responsible for Bill Cosby?
So
that's what I was gonna say. Yeah, and we've literally had this conversation off and on since the first time he jumped up on my panel, unsolicited, uninvited, and just like, what the fuck? Why are you here? Excuse my language, but but yeah, every time you ask him a question like that, he wants to throw a celebrity in the mix. Frank, you're only a celebrity in your own mind. Only in your own mind. Now, you might say, well, why didn't you do this when he was on here? And why didn't you do that when he was on here? Refer it for all these instances. When you think about this, refer back to my previous answer. When you ask him certain questions, it's always going to be the same reply. It might not be word for word, but it's real close. Don't ask him no long questions because he can wiggle out of them. If you ask him a short question, he's going to try to give you a long answer. I don't know if it'll work for you, but this is how I get through when he come over here unsolicited and uninvited.
Dapping these niggas up, talking about that's my boy, you know, vouching for them on the streets and stuff. So don't do that. You've been doing that for 5 years.
Let me ask you.
Let me finish that now. As you can see, shit's hitting the fan. Now, I know I had a question for you. Was that you that had the video deposition? Or is that somebody else?
Is the video what?
Video deposition. You know, we have to sit down and answer questions.
No, that ain't me.
Do you know who it was?
No. No, but you know, are you a Bible believer? Do you believe in Jesus, Yahweh, whatever?
See, here he go. Here he go. You have to cut him off at the pass every time. You have to cut him off at the pass because if not, you're going to end up talking about some historical event half the night. Or he's going to try to compare himself to something or some situation in the good book or something along those lines.
In the scripture, it says that no man can pay for another man's sins. So right there, if you are a believer, then you need to believe that. No man can pay for another man's sins. Everybody has to be responsible for what they do.
You had them on your platform repeatedly when you booked them up. This wouldn't just be applying to you. This is applying in general. You know,
but you don't know that because I have them on the platform.
Can I finish though?
Yeah.
You know, it's whispering behind the scenes that they doing X, Y, and Z, or people are coming to you. If you have the smallest doubt in your mind, because you are bringing this before the people, don't you feel like that you don't feel any type of like, dang, maybe I shouldn't have had him on the show. At least that.
No, I really don't. Because I did what I supposed to do years ago. Now, once they leave my show years later and they begin to start doing what they do, that ain't my responsibility. They didn't own me.
Later, boy, side, you act like it's been decades. Young Pharaoh was on your couch like 2 years ago, was it?
No, that was like about 7 years ago.
Communications. You have
about 5.
Recently.
No, since you see, that's misinformation what you're doing. That was more
no,
like...
that ain't misinformation. What was misinformation was when you told everybody Polite was going to come up and clear everything up about the charges, and then he didn't show up.
Now,
You call him on his own shit with something he done did. Now he has the answer because he can't wiggle out of it. Let me rewind it so y'all catch that again. 440, 414.
And once they leave my show years later and they begin to start doing what they do, that ain't my responsibility. They didn't own man.
Later, boy, side.
Okay, I might have been wrong about Sparrow being on there 2 years ago. I'm gonna stretch it and say 5 because all this shit hit fan about 2017. That part in Mac. But now listen to how I flip this on him. Don't let him corner you.
Young Pharaoh was on your couch like 2 years ago, was it?
No, that was like about 7.
Communications. You had light on recently.
No, since you see, that's misinformation what you doing. That was more like...
that ain't misinformation. What was misinformation was when you told everybody Polite was gonna come up and clear everything up about the charges, and then he didn't show up.
Now guess what? Now guess what happened? I was mad.
You had him on the phone, didn't you?
See, now he in the mood to talk.
Oh, I was mad as hell.
It's like on the first 48 when they slide that number 3 in front of you.
Not to do any goddamn interviews, and I was mad at him for that because I was telling him all you got to do is come forth and then just sit.
Y'all heard the answer, right? Y'all heard the answer to that.
Young Pharaoh was on your couch like 2 years ago, was it?
No, that was like about 7 years ago.
Yeah, Mac, he was ready to tell.
No, since you see, that's misinformation what you doing. That was more like...
that ain't misinformation. What was misinformation was when you told everybody Polite was gonna come up and clear everything up about the charges, and then he didn't show up.
Now guess what? Now guess what happened? I was mad.
You had him on the phone, didn't you?
But hold on, I was mad as hell that he didn't show up because when I called him, he came back and said his lawyer told him not to do any goddamn interviews, and I was mad at him for that because I was telling him all you got to do is come forth and then just say you're innocent. Just let the people know you're not guilty, and he couldn't even do that. And so yeah, I was really upset with him for that.
Okay, so what do you think's gonna happen on the 13th?
I don't know. I really can't tell you because it's in the judge's hands or whatever happens. I don't know.
Well, they're gonna sign a trial lawyer now, a trial prosecutor.
Oh, yeah. Well, see, I haven't been following it. Yeah, I haven't been following it because I just don't know. I think a lot of people, and to be honest, I think a lot of people is following it because it's polite, and they just hate Brother Polite. They don't care about the victim, so to speak. Not everybody, but I'm saying a lot of people doing it just because it's polite, and because of a lot of the flashing. I used to always try to coach them and tell them, brother, you gotta stop
that part, Nicole. But get him on wax saying he don't know nothing.
And so I think that's why they bang on him a lot because he shows what he got, you know. I mean, it is what it is. So I ain't got nothing to do with none of that.
I'm not saying it like you do, but we all know y'all talk at least every once in a while.
The last time I spoke to him, I did call him. That was about maybe 3 weeks ago to find out what was going on with the case. And he told me everything. I didn't even know it was going to trial. See, I just learned that from you just now. And I'm like, oh, shit, trial. Dang, man. I always made this statement, and I said it when it first happened the same day, but nobody seemed to cut that part and play it. I said, the Polite is guilty.
At his last court hearing, I didn't say he was going to, I said they assigned a trial prosecutor. He spoke to Polite 3 weeks ago, though. Put 2 and 2 together and make it make 4.
put him under the jail right next to Dr. York. I said that. But nobody eats that part. They always try to play the government to use the people in the back of the day.
It's your previous statements that's the problem.
Huh?
It's your previous statements that's the problem because.
And what's the previous statement?
Oh, don't make me tell on you, baby Dr. York. Now, see, you done implied that things have happened before. And
okay, I can adjust that.
Jaded.
What I meant by saying that, now, you know when people have beef and they go in on the internet, we just start beefing and going in. So, yes, I called him Baby York because of the situation.
That's not something that you accuse somebody of if you beefing.
No, I called him Baby York because of the situation that was happening surrounding another case that was going on. And so,
Yeah, we don't know the case that was. But
so
that's what I'm
hold on,
saying.
let me finish so you can have a clear answer. So when I jumped out the window and when I jumped out the window and started banging on them and calling them Baby York, guess what? Then everybody and their mama started banging on me, talking about how jealous I am. I'm going against polite. I'm just mad. And not everybody, but a lot of people. No, but a lot of people have. A lot of people have been going in on me when I came out on them.
But I mean, does your morality hinge on how people come at you?
Huh?
Does your morality hinge on how people come at you? It shouldn't matter what people come at you about polite on as long as you stand your ground.
Now, I see somebody said, why didn't you tell him to stop dating children? I never seen polite dating children. So what are you talking about? That's what people say. Hearsay.
Nah.
I've never seen polite.
Don't worry about this. Listen to what he finna say.
Ask you this.
And nobody else did.
Did they attempt to charge him in New York?
No, they didn't. No, they didn't. Because they automatically, they didn't even go to the goddamn court. When I found out that the police was arresting them and all this other stuff, man, the woman came in, the mother came in and said, no, this is not what's going on. I'm not pressing charges. I was like, God damn, I done jumped out the window. For what? And so when this thing happened,
ran off?
no, and so I think this was before. Yes, before. And so now when this case come on, I said, you know what? I don't want to do the same stupid thing again.
Pause. Her mama was pregnant, right?
Right.
This incident happened while she was pregnant or right after she had this baby, right?
Right.
And then mama packed them all up and left, and then she ran back.
Right.
Okay.
Yes, that's the way I heard the story.
Haven't we been looking for a timeline on that for like 6 months? So now we know as close as we can what actually happened. I got something to say. Hey, Moo. But I don't feel like I should. It's going to have to wait. But let's continue.
Story as well.
Give him polite that award instead of Cesario.
Cesario got on the award. Cesario got the award.
Jaded.
Yeah, Cesario got an award.
Jaded, you there?
Yeah, you hear me?
Yeah.
Peace, Peace. Who am I speaking to? Jaded.
You kicked me off your channel a couple months ago.
Why do that? What you do?
I don't know. You was running. You were talking about the same subject, and you ran.
I ran from what? What did I run from?
Well, I asked you the question on that particular live. I believe I asked you the question why there were so many older gentlemen who were around you that didn't seem to have a problem with grown men trying to have relations and having relations with teenagers and very young women.
People around me, I don't know nothing about that. I haven't seen no grown men.
Yeah, I mean, I was talking about.
Hold on, this is why we have a problem with you saying that, job, because you be like, this is my brother, this is my man, you know, and in people's minds, when you say that, that means y'all cool, y'all hang out, you know, this, that, and the other. So you would be around them like that to know. So then when people call you on, you say, no, I don't know nothing about that. So it seems weird. It can't be both at the same time.
Okay, so now let me try to clear it up for you again, if I'm allowed to speak.
Yeah.
Number one, whenever Polite comes around, that's the only time I see him. When I'm out in the street, he will come through from Brooklyn, and I'm filming him in the street. When we leave, we leave. He come around with his wives, his 3 wives. When he's gone, he's gone. We are not together all through the night. We are not spending the night together. I'm going home to my family. He's with his family.
Hey, Nickel.
So I have never seen any of these men were teenagers. That's just the truth. And if y'all can't accept the truth, then y'all want me to lie. I'm not going to lie on somebody.
Can I ask you a question? Can I ask you a question, Simon?
Go ahead.
What's your principles on unity and camaraderie and solidarity?
Well, I don't think we ever going to have unity.
No. That's not exactly what I mean. Before you start going down that road, I mean, like, for me personally, my sense of solidarity goes as far as
Amunet, Riot. There was Victoria. Who there now? I got a whole video called Brother Polite and His Wives Transcript. Hey, baby. Yes, M. Mac, you are correct. Amunet, Riot, the other bobblehead that be running around now. He switch them out. Victoria been gone. And the victim's mama. And y'all keep saying why. Don't validate these people by saying wives. Woman. Polite third woman. Ain't he married to none of them motherfuckers? York writing on a piece of paper that you two married don't make you married. Sleepy, dozy, lazy, sneaky.
Whoever, like, let's say you and me are cool, right?
Right.
And we're hanging out. We I got your back, you got my back, whatever. And then the day comes when you do something.
No, not even her. That's the one that got married with the piece of paper from York. That's the only one that's got that much. That's Amunet. Hold on, let's switch gears for a minute. I was uploading every day, 2 and 3 videos. Yeah, here we go. Brother Polite and his many women. I'm quite sure everybody ain't on there, but yeah, you get the drift. on a piece of paper transcript. He wasn't even there. York was in prison. Polite never met him in person. Really don't need no music. We all know who Amunet is. Amunet, Scamunet, Amulet. Then there was this lady. This lady is Anuket, mother of Renintet, who was the one that Polite was talking about a few minutes ago. Didn't I tell you they ain't married? The only thing they got is a piece of paper that came in the mail from Dr. York saying, I now pronounce you man and wife. They never got, he's not married to any of them. They too woke to go to the courthouse to get an actual marriage certificate. Polite visited York at the prison one time and he was not able to see him. He went with York's brother Uber and he waited while Uber went and saw York. And that's as close as he ever got to York. And then he can't be writing them now because they done restricted it. This is Anuket, mother of Renintet, the one that ran off that Ms. Sinata was talking about. Then we have Riot, the one that I swore for years was deaf. I'm serious. I swore she was deaf. This one looks kind of like Amulet, but her name is Raliet. See how this shit gets confusing? And that's the victim's mother. That's the last person on that video. And various other Instagram thought pockets. Thought pockets. Oh, dang it. I ain't mean to not share it. Oh,
Goes as far
oh Jesus.
as whoever, like, let's say,
Done scared the crap out myself.
And we're hanging out. We
I done scared the crap out myself. Didn't realize I pressed play.
Back, you got my back, whatever. And then the day comes when you
even faker transcript, even faker
goes beyond my moral compass, right?
Yeah, Moose, she been over there with them, Big John and that crew.
My moral compass, right?
Right.
I'm gonna go with my moral compass. So therefore, you can do something. Like let's say, like we walk
no
in,
problem.
You know, I come in your crib, right? And you got the computer on, and you got kitty porn on the computer. We're not friends anymore.
Exactly. I agree.
Okay.
Okay, so now let's pause that. I ain't gonna give y'all no hints. Let's see what y'all can come up with after you heard that. See, people play too much. Don't imply things if you don't want to be called on them.
So my question to you is this, right? At the point when Michael, it was found out that Michael was scamming, and you came to the community, and you let it be known that that's what he was doing, and he scammed you, right? After that point, I saw you in DC with him.
You mean DC? You shows in DC?
Wait a minute. It was the dynamic wellness and the Kepra's raw food juice bar. Remember that? In October.
Oh yeah, that's what we all. I did. I think I do. That's what we all went out there.
Yeah, it was I think it was something going on with the a million, 100 million miles or something like
That's
that.
right. That's right.
Yes.
Remember when you got to the picture with the owner?
Yep.
I'm the one that took the picture.
I remember that. Yes.
You remember me now? Okay.
Yes.
Wonderful. Wonderful. So then it doesn't feel like I'm a stranger.
Right.
Giving you a whole bunch of questions. I am a part of the.
No, it's all cool.
I was a part of the community, but at a certain point, probably should have been earlier than it did. My morals were conflicted with what was going on, and I'm as I look back at things, there was a point when things seemed like it was real, and then there was a point when everything seemed contrived. And I'm gonna say, flat out, like I remember when there was Abundance Child and King Simon, and they were doing their thing, and they had grabbed up Michael to do it, and then you started coming on your platform, and then all of a sudden it just became a bunch of wrestlers. And I remember a conversation with one of the Warden brothers, and one of them said that there's brothers that just sit on the corner thinking about how they can stand the community and get money out of the community. And I remember going to events and seeing, you and King Simon and other events, and most of it was counting money. So I just want to understand.
Hold up. You said at events. You said at events, most of it was.
He fell off, but his signal was bad before that.
Okay, because I was going to take it personal.
Yeah, his signal was bad. Oh. Give it a second, it's still coming back up. Your signal bad.
Yeah, you hear me?
Mm-hmm.
All right. You want to take it personal? Don't take it personal. Go ahead.
No, I didn't. I was joking. I was being facetious.
Oh, okay.
But I'm just trying to figure out how we got there, because there was a point. Now I'm realizing now, right, that everything that we were dealing with is bullshit.
Nah, I wouldn't say that.
I mean,
I wouldn't say everything that I was dealing with was bullshit, because if only you check my email. Hold on. If only you check my emails, if only you talk to the people that I know who I've helped, who I have educated. I mean, the House of Consciousness stand alone. I'm not new public. I'm not none of that.
About my statement, brother.
Yeah.
Okay. When I say all of it's bullshit, what I mean is, we stand on what we stand on the past. The things that we represent, we stand on the creation of those things throughout time, right? Where these things came from, the ideas, the intentions of the people who put together these bricks. If we're looking at like a wall, and as these bricks get built, right? So if we're to start this, right, we have these doctrines, right? Now, we have the Hebrew Israelite doctrine, the Nation of Islam doctrine, the Pan-African doctrine, and all these various doctrines that some of them kind of stem from other doctrines and kind of converge at certain intervals and things like that. But what we're left with is a foundation that started with not just people like Marcus Garvey and Noble Drew Ali, but we have to go back to the whole concepts of this New Age movement too. Because when you bring young Pharaoh on and Michael and all these other guys on to start talking about spirituality and consciousness, right? Those are concepts that came from somewhere, and it wasn't in some ancient time. most of this New Age stuff comes from Madame Blavatsky, who Asir.
Probably because that was the third trial melanated. YouTube was probably tired of me at that point.
It's not like it's not known that this stuff comes from somewhere, right? It comes from people like Madame Blavatsky, and then you've had Daniel on the show, and Daniel's talked about Saint Germain and all these other people, right? Who come from a man named Godfrey Ray King or Guy Ballard, who was a scam artist and a cult leader. You have Marcus Garvey, and if we strip away all the romance, he was a scam artist and a cult leader. If we strip away all the romance from
Jaded in the chat,
MSTA,
Dark Alchemist,
Noble Drew Ali was a mentally ill person and a cult leader. And this is the foundation that we build Black consciousness off of. Not just to mention the opportunistic college professors who wrote books to mislead people into thinking that there was some ancient African empire that expanded the whole continent.
So in other words, what you're saying is Black people is full of shit, huh? Black people ain't got a goddamn thing going on. All Black people got.
No, that's not what I'm saying.
That is what you're saying. You taking it all the way back to Marcus Garvey.
I was saying that.
So that's what you might as well say, brother.
I think that I'm pretty articulate, and I don't need to might as well say things. I think
DJ, hey William.
Yeah, well, that's what I get from listening to you. I get that.
Okay,
that's
well, I'm gonna put it like this, right? Do you think that the entire Black community it encompasses Black nationalism, or the ideas that are based on Black nationalism, or is Black nationalism just something that, because it's been around, Black people kind of accept it, and it helps in some ways, right? Because Black nationalism was a counterposition to integration.
Nick was bad.
Right? So while you had Black people who were trying to get laws changed to make the condition of Black people better in the country,
you okay?
You had Black people that say, "Well, fuck the white man. We need to burn this shit down," right? And
they say, "Hey, DJ."
That, right? The government,
he talking about, hey.
the rest of the country said, "You know what? We might as well give Black people the right to vote and let them ride the trains and the buses and get jobs and things like that." And the problem with that is, like, when Huey P. Newton was interviewed in the 80s, one of the last interviews he had, he talked about how miserable he was now that the revolution was over. When I talked to when I used to talk to older brothers in the community, like brother Kakai, and I can't remember the brother's name on the now in DC. They would talk about how they wanted to see this Black nation, right? Basically, I'm paraphrasing, right? You want to see this Black nation, but the people who didn't want that won, right? And they weren't happy with that, right? And when we look at where we all come from, for the most part, right, the working class, right? Most of us did not come from like the 1% Black people, right? Most of us come from a working class background, and with the working class, Marcus Garvey and Noble Drew Ali and all these other people were heroes to the working class, right? Because the idea of integration, it means that you have to have some kind of foundation to be very, very successful. And even the people who integrated never, they ended up being bitter, right? Because they didn't get what they thought they should get, okay? So what I'm saying is that because after a point, right, there was no need to have a dualistic conversation as to what our destiny should be, because the laws had changed. So there was no longer a need to run back to Africa, especially considering the fact that we learned with Marcus Garvey, with Minnie Maud Gordon, and other Pan-Africanists that Africa did not necessarily just want to bring back a whole bunch of poor black people to come live in Africa. So the black people that Africa wanted were the black people who were integrating in America because they didn't have a problem financially and economically like that. They didn't see that. And then those people, in turn, because, you know, the working class following all these different people in the fantasy land became stagnant. So then you know, there's wealthier black people in the community, which were really just middle class black people, politically, just use poor black people. This is where you get the Black Lives Matter movement, where you have the middle class black woman, a highly educated black woman who said all black men are at risk of being killed by the police. Give me money, right? But then we come back to the working class and we have Michael and we have all these other people who get a platform, provide the platform for, right? Now, I really need to understand, do you know it's a scam? Or do you think that this is black nationalism and what it should be? Because it's not. I believe that we should have some level of black solidarity in this country, but not this. This is bogus, man. That's what I'm saying.
You still there, Frank?
Yeah, I'm here.
Okay. Just making sure because your signal going in and out.
Yeah, I'm here. It was going
Jada, drop your channel link. Oh, hold on, I'll get it.
You got anything to say to that?
No, that's his opinion. I ain't got nothing to say to that. I'm just doing what I gotta do. I'm doing my work, you know.
Okay, I got a
Let me ask you a question. So, let's say Tazariak ends up being a scam, and we ain't know because he got his organs and bodyguards. Am I to blame for that too?
That's Jada's channel I just dropped in the chat.
Ends up being a scammer. Are you going to blame me for that too? No, I think what's going on is I don't know. If I knew it, then I say yes. But I didn't know. I don't know that they were scamming because let me tell you why I don't know. Anytime somebody would say they scamming, nobody stood up to the plate. Nobody came to confront him. He was a
Let me ask you a question, right? Real quick. Okay, so for instance, right, when Tazariak and Michael were having debates, right, you guys came up with a contract that said Tazariak couldn't talk about Dr. York. Is that correct?
No.
Okay, so why are they saying that?
I don't know why.
So there was no contract with these debates ever. So young Pharaoh,
there were contracts with Pharaoh and Seti. There were contracts with Pharaoh and Seti, but it wasn't a contract saying you can't talk about that.
Only two that you had contracts with.
No, I had contracts with Lord Abba and Lord Abba and going up against.
Thank you, Dr. Alchemist.
We had contracts with everybody, but it wasn't a contract that say you can't talk about this or you can't talk about that.
I think at that point we was all tired, melanated.
Dr. York if they want.
Standard battle rap contract. Like don't on nobody, shit like that. If you want to discuss that.
Yeah, we ain't trying to get in your business like that.
Yes, we had that, of course. No disrespect. You can't disrespect.
I respect that.
You can't disrespect the person.
Now, what about crypto rules? Crypto rules was suing Polite or trying to sue Polite. He had to redo his.
I've heard of him, but I don't know him. I've heard of him, and I heard the same thing y'all heard of, but I don't know.
young Pharaoh got directly in contact with you. It's other people that have gotten directly in contact with you. But just because those few got in contact with you and resolved, you knew it was more out there because people kept saying he was scamming.
Now,
the only ones he resolved was the ones that got the most attention.
no, I didn't know he was scamming, like I said. Because when people call me and they said, yeah, polite scamming, and I would get on the phone, and Uncle can tell you this because I would call Unc so I could have witnesses, and we will call polite on the phone and say,
if you ain't got nan witness but your captain, yes, man, it might be a problem.
yo, polite, this brother here, I don't know who he is, he said you scared. And we put the call through. Next thing you know, the brother's like, yeah, I know, brother. I just want to call you because this. He never made a claim. He always started giggling, laughing, and joking with polite. I'm going to tell you that. So it was a lot of people making false claims just to make false claims. People do that. Like right now today, niggas be making false claims about me.
We ain't trying to press
No.
Listen. In terms of this, right? Just so you understand what your position is in terms of our whatever, right? We see that you're not exactly like them until we see that you are. You understand? So like I said, no one has come out and done an interview and said that, Sinetta did something to me, anything like that. There is a question I personally have about, just like this. I'm even willing to say this, right? We are all like none of us are classically trained in the community, the things that we do per se, right? So from my understanding of you, you were the minister of information of the college, the college.
Yeah, man.
Say that again.
From what I understand and things I picked up, you learned media from working with Dr. Khalid. Is that correct?
Yes, that is correct.
So what I'm saying is, I'm willing to give to you that in the midst of all this YouTube stuff and the conversion of old media to new media, there is a learning curve, right? So that you may not, you may not know how, like in journalism, that I got to go for this person and I need to, as a journalist, present this information like this. Or I need to, as a journalist, do this and keep up the integrity of my platform and so on and so forth. So there are mistakes made. I can understand that and I can give you that. Everybody makes mistakes, right? But at the point that the mistakes become decisions. So for instance, I'm thinking the right words, right? There are a lot of people who are connected with a very vile individual, right? Who come on, let me be specific, right? There are the Dr. York supporters, right? Not his children, right? Because his children have right to have their opinion about their family, right? But there are people who come on your platform, like what was the guy that Chuck had a problem with, Trip? I can't remember his damn name.
Earl ain't been on that. What's the other guy name?
That guy. Yeah. I can't remember his name. Maybe as I talk, I will remember. But
why you not twice? Is that you again or is that her?
Oh, I thought I came out. That's me. Let me X that one out. X that one out.
Okay.
Because I dropped my phone. I thought it had
She ain't finna pop up over here, is she? I ain't finna drop that head or nothing.
It's hard. We all stand
up. I said, she ain't finna pop up or nothing over here, is she?
So who that?
You know who.
Nepal?
I ain't gotta say her name.
Nepal?
You already know.
Oh, Nepal? Yeah, I'm getting ready to let Nepal and Cynthia join me.
I didn't need to know all that. I ain't
trying to start clowning. No, but hold up, Senator. But what I'm saying is this, right? The guys that are blatantly telling lies about Dr. York's innocence, right? I get as a journalist, you have to be objective, But you can't just agree with people that you know are telling blatant lies. And when I say you know, as a journalist, all the information that lets us know that Dr. York was not set up is easily available online. And you know Chuck yourself. You can go on Chuck's website yourself, and you can make this an objective thing where this information can combat it so that people aren't walking away thinking that other people who are representing Dr. York aren't dangerous. Because everyone who says Dr. York might be innocent is dangerous to the community.
Man, stay away from irritated Genie on the government watch list. Besides, irritated Jada, can you come up here and tell us about irritated Genie, please? Are you still here? No, I didn't. Impact, what is you talking? He is on the government watch list that has been for many years for talking about killing white people. Yeah, I used to watch him before I figured out he was okay. Before I figured out he was on the damn web, when I saw the news article, and he used to work for, what was it? He used to work for a government agency. Jada got his website on that.
How can you not disagree with you?
Why do you disagree?
Because how can they be dangerous from something that they don't know? They don't know. And they know. No matter how surmount, they believe that he's innocent.
No, he's not.
There's objective truth.
Oh, no, he was talking about them getting into bed with him, M-Mac. You let that one fly right over your head. He said, oh, Nepal and Cynthia are finna join me in the bed. That was implied. That's why I said, ew, stop. You know, Gunga. Shut up, Tasha.
You know he's not innocent. So therefore, you have an obligation not to let them come up
Last
to
security, Genie.
Because there are people out there that don't know about this.
So I disagree with you. I disagree with you on that.
No, that's called journalistic integrity. Since you want to call yourself a journalist.
I disagree with you. I disagree.
Why do you disagree?
I disagree because Sarnetta do what Sarnetta want to do. I don't agree with the majority of the people that
It's not under journalism when it gets hot.
Well, hold up.
Y'all heard what he said, right? I don't agree because Sarnetta do what Sarnetta want to do. I wonder would that hold up in a court of law? Probably not.
But let me finish. Damn it, the whole world knew R. Kelly was doing what the hell he did. Everybody and their mama wanted to get that interview. Just to put it up, just to put it up, just to get his words out there. And guess what? Let me finish. People talk that talk, but guess what? When I interview them, it gives them content. Look how many people have grabbed my video that I did with Nature Boy, and they did their own commentary on it. I'm feeding people. Y'all not looking at that part of it. And they monetizing their channels, they doing all that. But one thing I was saying is, you listen what I'm saying. A lot of people knew. A lot of people. I know, but
Say what you're saying, son.
What I'm saying is, I'm just trying to make a point here. Then the whole world knew that Michael Jackson was doing this, so they accused him of doing this.
See, there go the celebrities again.
That R. Kelly was fucking with them young girls. And you cut me off. You cutting me off. They knew that he was pissing on girls. They knew all of that. But guess what? Then every media wanted to get that interview. And not one white boy accused the media of them interviewing him. But that only happened with Rocky. That only happened with when I want to do that, I'm not going to cater to black people because with y'all, when I say y'all, I'm not talking about you. So with black people, damn if you do, damn if you don't, so I'm never gonna do what the hell so I never want to do. Okay, I don't know because I know the masses are asses. So I'm never gonna listen to the masses, especially niggas who condemn me or accuse me of having AIDS or accuse me of being government. What the hell I look like listening to any of y'all?
Hold on one second.
I never accused you of having
I'm not, no, I never said you. I'm not saying
Put
that
that
you.
to the side. Hold on.
Let me just get that, please.
Mm.
If we are people who say that we are conscious of the movements and of the black community, and we are people who believe that as black people we have more of a responsibility to other black people than other communities have to the general community as a whole, right? Then can't we learn from the R. Kelly situation? And this is what I learned, right? Back to my moral compass, right? When I was a kid, I found it very strange that someone like who was my age was around this man who was a grown man. They were talking about they got married, and that was the end of me and R. Kelly. I never bought an R. Kelly record pretty much in his entire career. Okay, so that's me, right? But when the media, after the relationship, continued to promote his music for whatever reason, it afforded him the ability to go from state to state, collecting young girls and young women to abuse. So, from my perspective, yes, the white media, the music industry is very culpable for what R. Kelly done, for what Michael Jackson
Shaka
done.
almost.
The black media too, brother, not just the white media.
Oh,
The Chinese
the
media,
black
it's all media.
But what I'm saying is, if we're the conscious community, then we should
Brother, I'm not saying that
much
there was
better.
a conscious community. None of these niggas in the community conscious. A goddamn rope is conscious. What does that mean? A fly is conscious. If you trying to step on the rope is conscious enough to know to get the head out of the way and run. So conscious don't mean nothing, brother. It just means to be aware. That's all it is.
I know, brother. I put air quotes up that you couldn't see when I said it. But what I mean
Can I
to
ask
say
you a
is,
question now?
oh yes, I'm sorry, sir.
Consciousness don't make you a superhuman.
Right.
People still make mistakes.
Hey,
You gotta recognize he was thinking.
here goes my question. I got one or two, but they short. Okay, you old enough. You know what blue journalism is, right?
Teach me.
Muckrakers, man. You don't know about muckrakers?
Teach me.
The National Enquirer, aliens stole my baby type shit.
When you make up a story because it's sensational.
What's wrong with something without verifying facts? You can get something from who you think is the source, but later turns out not to be. Things like keep it up.
Oh, you mean like a lot of the things that the people do on YouTube, like you, CCCTV?
That's the way that I know I did deep enough. What if I said that is invalid?
Well, you said a lot of discouraging things about me.
Name one.
You lied on me a few times.
What did I lie on you about?
A lot of things. I can go back.
No, name one. Name one. Because I wasn't the one running around here telling people you had AIDS. I was the one running around here saying that's not what he meant when he said that. I was the one running around here telling everybody that you had those. Even though I don't particularly like you, I still ain't gonna run around and lie on you.
That's a
Oh, wow. I
I
didn't know you did that.
act like I lied on you.
Now, see what the brother said? Hold up, the brother said he thought I really probably had that shit.
And then did you hear the other part?
No.
Then Trip explained to me that's not what you said. She explained that to me.
Oh, wow. Thank you.
That part,
I
Mac.
appreciate that, C3.
So you can't even tell me one thing I learned about
this is an objective platform. Nobody, we're gunning after people who are bad guys. So if you stand in the way and you stand next to bad guys and you get shot a little bit, you got graves because you were standing next to a bunch of bad guys.
I really don't care. I really don't care because I never got tough skin. I've been doing this shit for years. I've been faced with goddamn 1,000 personalities a day. I've been on the street. I've been on the street debating with Muslims, Christians, Hebrews, all of that. So I don't care how people come at me.
I got a question.
Well,
What you think Sparrow really on? I don't expect you to know.
You said what I think Pharaoh is really on?
Mm.
I don't know, but I feel sorry for my brother. I wish he was all right. I'm not gonna. You don't see one video up on it. You don't see. How come when I talk, everybody cut me off when you ask a question? You don't see one video up on my channel with me condemning Pharaoh, even though me and him went through what we went through. I don't care. I just feel sorry for him. I feel bad for him. He's a young brother. He's a young brother with a lot of information and knowledge where he could have been doing something else. So, I don't really, think about that. I'm just hoping to be
better. You have no family that can go get him help or something? Because obviously he picked it out on social media and nobody's doing anything but watch it.
Yeah, nobody's doing nothing but making sure they tear him down even worse and more. Because that's what we like to do to each other. We like to beat each other up, tear each other
down. You don't like to tear each other down. You always try to do that.
You can dress it up.
But you can't let them walk around here doing what they do. And now we have even more suspicion that what was said then is true.
Yeah, and but you know
deep down in your heart. He said nothing wrong about these mofos. We said 5 years ago Umar wasn't gonna build no damn school. And he is currently got a desist order against his ass. Now he's going to jail. If y'all had listened to us then, these motherfuckers wouldn't be going to jail now. They'd have got help. Do you understand that?
I don't think I ever promoted Dr. Umar going creating a school.
On your show. You done gave him an award.
He gave him an award. He did give him the award, but they fell out before Umar really started running around trying to get school money. They did fall out before that happened.
Everybody who I gave an award to, I feel that they deserve their award. So what? I can't please everybody. Some people won't be mad. Some people won't be mad. I can't please everybody. I already know when it comes to black people.
Oh yeah, while you up here, what happened with the Apollo side?
Oh man,
here go the Apollo lie.
You gonna let me answer the question?
Yes.
Go ahead.
Okay. What happened with the Apollo? I wanted so bad to get the goddamn Apollo, but there you go, niggas in the community, like Lex Vortex, everybody start forming together.
Lex did it.
He's gonna do this, and they called the Apollo, and they got it shut down. That's a fact. The video is out there. You can go and look at it. You can hear Lex saying, yo, we're going to call in the morning. We're going to shut this shit down. And they started calling and saying it's going to be a bomb threat and all kinds of shit. And so I moved downtown to the Symphony space, which costed even more.
It costed
$50,000 to rent the place.
Yep, girl. You already know.
They did the same tactic, but it was too close for them to cancel it because I already paid them. I already got the money on them, and I did that. So it was always niggas, black people, who were trying to shut it down because they was hating, because they was mad, because they couldn't do what I do. So that's what happened with it.
I have another question for you now. You say Lex Vortex called the Apollo.
Not only Lex Vortex, there was a lot of people calling. A lot of people, a lot of hating niggas.
Okay.
Because they was jealous. And that's on video. You can dig that up. That's out there. That's on YouTube.
Here goes my other thing. You have to reserve the Apollo at least a year in advance. They booked. I checked at the time. They booked.
They was in book when I was getting them.
They was booked. I checked at the time. And
I'm gonna tell you again. I'm gonna say it again. They was booked. They was not booked when I was there. I'm trying to tell you what I know, man. It wasn't booked when I was there. I'm sitting.
If you go back to the time of the Apollo, the time when he said that he was gonna get the Apollo, they was booked up a year in advance, at least a year in advance. It might have been 2, but it's been a couple of years since that happened. Now, first off, when you go to the Apollo website, the Apollo doesn't have a phone number. You have to email them. You can't just go up to the Apollo. Isn't open all the freaking time. I had somebody locally check. He had never reserved anything. And this was all at the time when he first announced that he was going to get the Apollo. So you make your own decision.
Right in there, I got it on video. I'm sitting there being interviewed with the people. They're giving me a tour, all of this. And so before I could make my first down payment on it, calls started coming in.
And that's still up on video. If you remember the date, go look at the date. Go look for video from that date on my channel.
Do you know what kind of move that is? So I try to do bigger things for the people in the community. When I do my lectures, guess what? Damn near everybody eats at the lecture. I have never done a lecture where people would.
You might hate seeing your people in disarray like this, but this is the only way that we can get anything straightened out. This is the only way that we can get anything done, to get everybody on the same page. If people would quit with the foolishness, we wouldn't have to do all this.
$1,500 in their pocket. They just wouldn't walk out there with at least $1,000 in their pocket. So it's not just it's for the community to come through, spend their money with black people, and we socialize and get lit. Everything, only when Sadie hooked up with Pharaoh, that's when shit went wrong, because Pharaoh was telling Sadie, yo, we can do this on our own, we don't need some, let's do that, and know that they never did one thing on their own with a debate. It all flopped. Sadie always had been booked. You don't see him booked now saying, I'm booked, bitch. I'm booked, bitch. No, where he at? What are you doing? So they tried to strategize to be over. Yeah, all trying to strategize against me. And guess what? Whenever Sarnetta stands up to defend himself, guess what the people say? God damn, Sarnetta fall out with everybody. So I'm going to let these niggas just run all over me and do what the hell they want to do. Nah, that's not how it works. That's not how it works.
You're supposed to stop fucking with them. If they don't do business correctly, you find somebody that does.
I agree. I agree with you on that, season. That's what you're right.
But it don't take that many times to show you.
Well, if you know who I am, I'm an Aries sign, and Aries is a forgiving people.
Don't try to blame this on the moon and the stars, please.
That works for this.
Well, I am a forgiving people, and I know y'all know that. Yeah, I see how I forgive them to anybody who did me wrong. I just do that.
I think I don't know that black people are forgiving to a fault.
Yes, I agree with you.
And I think that at some point we have to learn
We ain't
to
going no
stop
I'm just cold.
romanticizing people, places, and ideas. And
Right.
comes from having a romantic idea of community. And we all live in we don't live in the most functional community. We live in very
Jane.
and those are the places that we live, right? So where if a crime happens, there's a mechanism in place to deal with that crime. At least on some level, right? Now every crime is in court in the neck, but it's there. Now I've sat in these meetings and these phone calls and I've heard niggas.
I think he might have slipped off. Yeah, you're right, Shadow.
How many people they got brought up on?
But hell, remember it was late at night or early in the morning, however you want to look at it.
Instead of doing trying to reinvent the wheel, right? We have been focusing on these doctrines that tell us to go reinvent the wheel for no reason. Instead, we could be focusing on making the wheels that we got. We can put patches on the wheels that we got. Because let's be for real, right? Nobody's moving to Africa in mass.
We got a question in the chat. And before I ask this question in the chat to you, Frank, I'm going to say this, and you don't have to reply to this. Just acknowledge that you heard this. Now, the universe is not pleased with people right now. And just remember that the universe done heard all of this. And everything is encapsulated in the universe. So now the question is, for years, you have paraded all these fraudulent people before the Black community. What say you? And I'm going to put myself on mute.
It's time for the BS.
And all the motherfuckers liked them. All the niggas loved them. All the niggas celebrated. All the niggas came out to see him. All the niggas was pulling for him. So now him, was he one of the ones that loved him, that celebrated him? Because that means he's guilty as well. So that's what I say to that. Everybody loved him.
I never gave a dollar, a dime, or a view.
It was a shit shot at
I came out kicking ankles. You ain't right. You ain't right. You already knew Melanated, but they tried. Just remember, the universe had your answer too.
So what have you learned from all this, Netta? Like moving forward with your platform, I see you talked about Jesus a lot. What's the next steps, if you'd like to share that with us?
Well, the most important thing, because I remember I used to be strictly pro-Black, that I've learned that Black people are full of shit, Black people ain't shit, and Black people will turn on their mama if they had to. That's what I've learned. I'm telling you what I learned.
They have a low opinion of Black people.
Damn right. And guess who made you feel that way? Black people. So what are you talking about? Niggas will make me feel the way I feel today.
Well, aren't you a hero?
Remember what Malcolm said about hatred? And they was asking him, are you filled with hatred? What did he say about that? Y'all remember that?
Yeah, jog my memory.
Gary.
Damn, I forgot it too. I forgot it too, but I know it's in my mind. I know it's in my mind.
Malcolm loved Black people.
You can clown all night. Don't pay no attention.
I know that Malcolm loved Black people.
Okay, I'm not Malcolm.
I'm
living in 2022.
And Malcolm's love for Black people is what ultimately killed him. Is what
damn right.
Killed him, right?
Damn right.
His blind love, his romanticized love for Black people. Because it was Black people who got together and killed him at a...
So once we know that, should we begin to do the same goddamn thing?
I mean, this is the deal, right? There's a... When you... This is the part I like...
Black people... No, let me say something, because you talk a long time. Let me say one thing.
Gary, where my bison at?
Am I still up there?
Yeah, you still here?
Damn. Okay. Black people, to me, are the most wicked, evil people when it comes to themselves. Not the goddamn white man. I used to be on the street damn there for 19 years, going hard for Black people. When I went on YouTube, I was like one of the second ones on YouTube.
Right,
Nobody
Earl.
was on YouTube doing what I do. This was way before there was.
I already sent you my address, Gary. Look in your text messages. Scroll up.
Huh?
You don't gotta tell me, I was there.
Okay. And so when you go in, look at all the shit that we do to each other, brother. That's what I'm talking about. Now, if you deserve it, then goddamn it, you deserve it. But sometimes these are people that
Jay.
never seen me in person, never sat down with me. And so
I told you
doing
to
all
ask the
kinds
place
of
you
wicked
get it
shit
from.
just to
Sometimes
dirty my
they
name
ship
because
straight
they were
from
so
there, or
goddamn
you get
jealous
those
and envious. But they never
them
could match
freeze
my work
packs.
that I was doing. I went to Chicago. I traveled to Washington D.C. to bring this information to the people. I went to California. Listen, I went to Chicago.
Girl, why would you take his opinion of black people to heart? He don't believe half the mess he say. This is justification, backpedaling, and popping. They all say this mess before they go do something else. Look.
The capital of the world went out there and documented shit.
Yeah, then you just get some of them ice packs.
I mean, I was going all over just to get
call me tomorrow.
Information in the hands of my people. They called me every goddamn name in the book, never met me. Just because one person will get mad, it started with one person. Oh, that nigga got AIDS. Oh, that nigga's evil. Oh, he saw Satan. He's this, he's that. So what do you think I'm supposed to feel after coming up after that? Of course I'm gonna begin to feel the resentment of black people, of our people, all people, knowing that I will give you the shirt off my goddamn back. I will feed you with my money. Knowing it because they don't know you. You see?
Look, I can almost quote this stuff word for word. It's like he done got a script and memorized it. And every time somebody question him about something, it's some variation of that script. You don't know me. You don't know my life. You don't know what I've been through. Or like Zia Wu said, bobbity bobbity boo, this nigga crazy. No, bibbity bobbity boo, this nigga crazy.
Yes, I know it.
Okay, that's my cousin.
Okay.
Yeah, FedEx.
My cousin, when I discussed
Gary.
the community, he's
Good Jay.
He feels kind of the same way, but he doesn't want to hate all black people.
No, I never hate all black people either.
He's hurt because he spent a lot of time putting together his work, right? And
yes, he was a powerful brother.
Yeah,
that part, Shadow.
People were selling his work, and they weren't crediting him. They weren't saying, "Here, go to this website and get his book." They were bootlegging his work, and they weren't really helping.
Well, I'm glad I never had his work. I've seen his work.
Okay. Also, you acknowledge that you've done that to other people's work, though.
No, I don't acknowledge that. Now, if you want to know, let me answer you. Dr. Ben.
Now, see, him and if you want to know, let me answer you. But listen to the way he worded his first response. I'm glad I never had any of his work. Not, I'm glad I never did that. Oh, I'm glad I wasn't out there bootlegging. No, I'm glad I never had none of his work.
And all of these brothers.
Y'all have to excuse me. I was raised by 2 teachers, not 1.
That was alive during my time. Will come on 125th Street and give me their video. And I would go to Dr. Ben's house. There's videos that you can see. Me, I would go to his house. Video it from the street all the way up to the stairs. And I would come in there and drop a knock on Dr. Ben. When Dr. Ben was in the hospital, I would take my little son and my daughter and my wife, and we would drive up to the hospital and spin off.
We know that, Jaded. That's what I'm saying. That's why he didn't answer like that. That's why he answered the way he did. I'm glad I didn't take any of his work. Rather than, oh, I'm glad I never did that. Because he can't say, I'm glad I never did that without us calling him on the lie. See? Yeah, Shadow, and that's somewhere out here too. You right.
Whole thing with Dr. Ben.
And the whole time, Melanated was putting acknowledge, apologize, atone, and move the fuck on, and he would not do it.
Drive to the restaurant, that's on footage as well. So all this shit that all these people tell me is wrong. This shit is not real. Ask Booker T. Ask Professor J. Smalls. You ask any of them. They all was all right with me getting their video because I would give them donations. They would come from 125th Street. They would stand out there and hold lectures in front of the people. You know? So when people say that, they're now wrong. And people just be talking, talking. Number one, they be jealous of that.
You hear me? Oh, hi.
Before we get started on equal part, let me also say that I've asked him about this before, and he said something along the lines of the information is free and for the people. Remember that one when he was over here?
In the morning, right?
Each time you get an answer that's a little bit different.
How's that on you?
I'm good. Who am I speaking to?
You're speaking to Nico B. I'm just gonna give you a disclaimer. I'm not about drama. I'm not entertaining drama, so I just want to let you know.
Gary debate the bar. Jay.
You speak very ill on the Black community, but weren't you in New York back in the day selling to the Black community?
That's what I was saying. Everybody knows that. And what I meant by what I Malcolm said, I got it now. Malcolm, they said, man, you feel with so much hate. Malcolm says it's the hate that hate produced. So if that
ask you my question, please.
I am. Just let me talk first. You can talk. But I'm saying that's what I meant by that. It's the hate that hate produced with me when it comes to Black people. So I feel the same way with Malcolm. Go ahead.
All right.
Malcolm didn't say it, actually. That was a writer that was writing about the mission.
No, Malcolm said that, brother. It's on video, bro. Malcolm said
Malcolm did not say that.
All right. So you can't speak, because I just feel like people, like, no offense at all, and with all due respect, Senator, I know that in each community, we have our good eggs and our bad eggs. Or I should say our good apples and our bad apples. But one thing I will never do is single out one group of people and say that they're all like this. I'm a black person, and I have never, and once in my life, was a detriment to my community, to my people, to anything of that nature. But I do know in your past you were, and you admit it. So for a group of for a community who's been through the most of any culture in this world, I wouldn't necessarily single us out, because at the end of the day, we truly don't know who we are as the people. So then when we have people out here scamming us, feeding off of our pain, we're looking for something. And you know that as an adult, as a grown man, that us as Black people, we're looking to find out.
So you agree with me that Black people are still like children, right?
I'm not saying that at all.
Well, we don't know who we are. You said that. The only one that don't know who we are children.
Well, are you Black, Senator?
No, I'm not Black. I'm Black.
So, would you take offense as me as a Black person to speak on your nationality and say that all of you are the same?
No, and I'm not. I never say all. So that's
you put us all in one bunch. I take offense to that.
I will never say all. I never want to say all, because those who are educated, those who enlightened, those who supported me, of course I'm not talking about those. I'm talking about nigger mentality. You got niggas and you got a Black man.
Malcolm X didn't say it. It's somebody put it in the chat. It'll roll up in a minute.
For any reason,
What does nigga really mean, though? That was a name. That was a name made up like European culture.
All you gotta do is ask the spirit of Malcolm X, are they niggas in our community? Okay.
I never answered that either because that's like a Europeanized word.
I can
That
care about
was made to
I never watched this talk. Khaled Abdul Muhammad said the most derogatory term you can call a nigga is a nigga. And whenever you see a nigga, you let him know. Because a nigga is one who will try to tear down this community. A nigga is one who will try to stop the rise of a black messiah. Who's doing the work?
The question is, since you just said that,
the distinction between black and black men.
I understand that. So since you just said that NIGGER is a person that will tear down their community and this is that, but you sold to our community, so it's not tearing it down. So
no, I sold to black men. I sold to black men.
Yeah, the NIGGER is your
and when you say our community,
what I'm trying to say is, the question is, right? In all actuality, we're talking about
Mike Wallace.
Listen, Senator, I don't want to argue with you because I don't argue with you.
It's on the screen right now.
You're saying a black person will tear down the community.
Mike Wallace, who produced
at the end of the day,
a disparaging documentary about the Nation of Islam.
You contributed to that.
But you feel that you got hit by that rock, and that's why you speak it.
That's
all. Just like when I talk about the Hebrews, I never say all.
He said all for 11 times. I don't know, James.
So let's get back to this.
No, I'm just answering the question, brother. It's the people.
Okay, so somebody in the chat asked your ethnicity.
Why? What does that matter? I'm not a white man.
Because you said that you weren't black, you were brown. So then
what I mean by that, motherfucker, god damn, man, y'all, god damn, I'm going over y'all heads. What I mean by that is listening to you. When you look at the color of my skin, I'm not black. The cell phone that I'm holding in my hand is black. But when you look at the color of my skin, I'm not black. We do use black as a political term, and we came up with black power because the white man came up with white power. So Stokely Riddick came out with black power, and he coined the phrase black power to counteract white power. So we're not black people. I'm brown myself.
Okay, that's what you mean. That's all I want to know. I understand all the connotations.
My father is Dominican, if you want to know, and my mother is what they call an African American.
Okay, so you're half Dominican, half African American.
Ain't no such thing as half. You either one. I'm a straight up African American man. I took my DNA. That's my DNA. I got my DNA.
Hispanic or no?
Ain't no such thing as Hispanic. Okay. What are you talking about?
Yourself the same.
Now remember, when you go and fill out the little applications for daggone near anything, it asks you, are you black, white, such and such? But then it asks you, are you Hispanic? Do you have any Hispanic descent, or do you not have any Hispanic descent? And he said no. And he said that wasn't real.
As everyone else,
I might be saying it wrong, but y'all know what I'm talking about.
Yes.
That little extra box they put on the questionnaires.
If you're saying that a black person is the person who tears down the community, right? Do you consider selling drugs?
I'm not talking about tearing down the community, brother. I'm talking about me. I don't give a damn. I'm not talking about me personally. I'm asking you a question. The way I am is
DJ.
Did you sell drugs? Of course, selling drugs tear down the community. Of course.
So you participate in tearing down the community.
Brother, I'm like 15 goddamn years old. I'm a child. I tore down the community. When they came home from prison, I never looked back. In 1990, never looked back. I've been working since 1990 on the streets of Harlem, and I've been building up my community. So I paid my price, and I'm still doing it now, bro. I came home Question. You look at the it's to people, millions of people who sold drugs. So what we say?
You're not listening.
You paid your price. I hope
I'm still paying my price right now.
No, you.
To the day I die, I'm still paying the price for what I have done in my community. Yes, I sold drugs.
Okay. So the point of the matter is that all that juxtaposition that you was making about black and brown means nothing.
When I sold drugs, I didn't have no sense of consciousness who I was. I was a nigga and a guy.
That doesn't matter.
It do matter, brother.
No, it doesn't.
Because if you sell the drugs when you're conscious, then you know better.
Because at the end of the day, knowing better is not about being conscious. Knowing better says that when we picked up the drugs, we knew that when we picked up the drugs, we knew the drugs were illegal. And that was wrong to do something illegal.
It wasn't wrong for us. Let's tell that to a child that ain't got no goddamn food. What are you talking about? What? Don't tell me you're wrong. Don't tell me to a kid that's living in the house with family, and when he's at home, there's no food on the table, he ain't got no clothes.
Let me pause this. See, the reason it's starting to leak over is because nobody has been talking, Dark Alchemist, and nobody talking. Well, not a lot of people talking. The majority has not been talking. And with the majority not talking, that's silent consent for it to keep going. When it keeps going like that, sooner or later, it's going to touch you.
Well, I'm not listening. Yeah, family.
Nobody get nothing if both of y'all yelling.
Those is children. We're grown-ups. So if there was no food on the table, there was many things you could have done that you didn't do, but you.
My man, you sound dumb as hell, man. When you're a fucking 15-year-old kid, when you're in the street and you
What out there, son?
when you're in the street and you're
What out there, son?
and when you're come on, brother, what you talking about? Ain't nobody thinking about right and wrong. You thinking about hey, I need $1. Let me put this money in my pocket. What are you talking about?
What I'm saying to you, we are now, you're in your 50s and I'm in my 40s. I was in my teens when I was out selling drugs and robbing people. You were in your teens when you were out selling drugs and robbing people. Why is it that me in my 40s, I don't give myself an excuse back then? It doesn't matter that I didn't have nowhere to live. It doesn't matter that I...
Well, that's for you. That's your life. Brother, everybody ain't gonna fucking live according to what you want to do in your life. Everybody life is different.
Hey, Don, we meet again.
You're not gonna be.
You're not picking up the concept.
No, he picks it up. Hold on. This right here is called master deflection. It's called master deflection. Yep, Dark Alchemist, and it's tainted them so much that it's like if you don't have the original source, you need to put it down. Like for real. That's no cap on nothing. Like you need to go as close to the source as you can get and skip the middleman. But that right there, what you're hearing is master deflection. He's talking about after you've grown up and you can accept culpability for your actions. And he's talking about when he was a child.
That's not
It's to say that because
brother, if I do what I do,
I am the same. I have the same. The people who are doing something now have the same potential that I had then to become what I am now. So if I say they ain't shit, then I'm saying I ain't shit. Now, if someone is misguided and they are willing to change, just like I was, I can't make that determination before they're offered the ability to change.
Yeah,
Now,
so
when we're looking at these so-called conscious people who are preying on people trying to change,
He 50 something, Don.
seem to be able to.
do y'all still hear it? Y'all still hear me? Okay.
Well, I'm gonna get off. I'm sorry. Thank you for allowing me to.
You're welcome. You're welcome. You're welcome.
For letting me ask you that question. I was not trying to trigger.
Yes, I apologize if you feel offended. I didn't mean to offend you or nothing like that. But you know, this is how I gotta be when I come on platform, because a lot of people think they know my life. They don't know my life. They don't know how I grew up. No, I'm not talking to anybody. I'm talking to the sister. Nobody knew how I grew up. Nobody know what I go through on these YouTube streets where I got to defend myself at every cost. You see? So I'm dealing with niggas, not black men all the time. And I'm not saying all of us are niggas and all of us are nigga women, but the majority of them, I deal with.
You froze up.
You keep on saying the N-word too much, man. The ancestors.
Yeah, I wasn't. I don't like the word. I don't like the word. It was called.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm gonna just jump off. Okay. You guys have a good night. I have a good 2 hours. All right.
Yeah.
But you know, I just think that at some point, as adults, we have to be
like literally, my hands are not anywhere near the computer. I ain't did nothing to him. Y'all saw that circle go away slowly. He just froze up.
I don't know
His
where.
signal is perfectly fine.
Yo, it's mad bad vibes. He's near that couch that had all them creeps on it. And it's all this bad vibes just fucking up his phone lines.
You there?
Yeah, you hear me? Oh, okay. So what I'm saying is nobody lived my life. You can't tell my story. You can't tell me how to feel. You know? It's just like I can't tell the next person how to feel.
No one's
You ain't lived my experience, bro.
we're asking you to have a moment of clarity and say that. So like for me, right? If someone asks me a question,
I'm just giving you my reality, bro. When you ask me a question, I give you my reality. It's up to
if
you.
someone asks me a question, I didn't think about it, and then I'm faced with that question, then I'm given an opportunity to change my perspective. Now, if I refuse, I say, "Hey, that's just my life," or I could give myself the opportunity to grow. That's all. So and what I'm hearing from you, and I got like that too, right? What I hear from you is this, right? That you put a lot of energy into trying to right the wrongs of your past, and in that, people have judged you in that pursuit. There has been backbiting, and what I'm saying to you is, it wasn't black people. It was the energy of the community that both of us chose to rehabilitate into. It wasn't black people. It was the doctrines that black people were following that made them think that because they dressed a certain way or believed certain things, that they were better than other black people.
I'm not buying that one, brother. It was black people on my end. I mean, I seen them. I don't know what you talking about. These were people that look like me, brother. That never met me, that never spoke to me, that only met me through hearsay. Hold up. Who only heard of me through what other people said. So when they put out words, oh yeah, watch out. Because people would come over to my channel and say, damn, brother, they were telling me to watch out for you, stay away from you. And brothers that been with me for the past 4 to 5 years now. And they were to the side, like what these niggas saying. What the fuck they talking about? Even my queen who I'm with, she's a Hebrew, Nepal. When Nepal came over and we finally kicked it, she was like, God damn, everybody was telling me to stay away from you, you this, you that, you this. And she said, man, what?
He stole a little bit from everybody, Alchemist.
At all costs. I defend them. We defend each other. We stand up and we fight. So even if you were talking about life simple,
that's why they your boy in jail now. He gonna be clucking like a chicken next. He ain't careful.
Say that again.
I said y'all came out and said y'all wasn't married. Then y'all came out.
I don't want to get into that. I don't want to get into personal life. Because that's see, we play chess with y'all. We know what the people gonna do. So we try to give y'all something, and guess what? We'll make a video and say, yo, we're gonna do this, we're gonna do that. And let's throw it out and see how the people go and react. And they will show them happy. The people is happy.
They done got jail or a potential causes for them. That's the only time Tasha probably. You know that.
It's okay. But just real quick,
Jaded.
The black people that you talk about that backbit you and things like that, could you concede that you may be that black person in someone else's story?
Nope.
Jay.
Because I ain't do nothing to nobody. I have never taken nobody money. I don't backbite and talk about nobody. Everybody, they come to me. And let me clear this up too. Let me see, huh? Say that again?
On my show.
Hold on, one quick thing. He said the money from the van. Guess what I did, brother? I hit the button, the return button, to give back to the people, brother.
That's what I asked you.
Yes, I hit the return button. How many people you know did that? That would do that.
Not many.
Right.
So, okay, so
that's why they don't call me a scammer today. They don't. Only a few people say, "Oh, you're a scammer," because they associate me with polite. I understand that. I understand.
I was calling you a scammer because the same way that you said that you were orchestrating things with Nepal, I believe that you were orchestrating things with polite. You said you weren't doing that.
No, I wasn't.
Okay.
Because y'all know what the people want.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, that's why I consider you a scammer.
It's all right. But when you say these things, bring the paperwork. That's all.
I mean, you just said
bring the people forward and let them tell you, yeah, so I never took my money. That's all you got to do to me.
Yeah, I mean, misrepresenting things is also scam. So,
no, I disagree.
It's fine.
Oh, we got a question in the chat. Multiple people are asking who.
Man, that Benz, he got old as hell, Alchemist.
I don't know who he is. No, I don't care. I don't know.
I did have a crack pipe though, right? You know that our crack pipe didn't belong to Unc though.
No, I don't know about that.
Okay.
Oh, I ain't gonna touch that.
Oh, he said he split coke off the tree, but it wasn't a crack pipe. That's right.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't know about that.
Okay, so seeing as a lot of the major people are getting swept up, hoisted by their own patern per se, what are you gonna do if another person that is highly featured on your platform comes up with some mess like this?
Like what? Mess like what?
Like Polite or Young Pharaoh?
I ain't gonna do a goddamn thing. I'll let the people deal with that. If all I'm here for is the media.
No. I don't mean it like you're supposed to jump out there like Captain Sable. I mean, at that point, are you going to disassociate yourself?
Cooler with King World Debating Solar.
Oh, hell yeah. But they got to prove it. They can't just come out and make statements because people make statements about me all day, every day. And there's a lot
of the conviction. You're going to come out with a video saying that he's convinced.
Hell yeah. Guess what? I said that about Polite. If Polite is found guilty, I'm damn sure gonna make a fucking video tearing his ass up and condemning him. And I'm not gonna do it until the judge says he's guilty. I'm not a follower of man. Everybody want to do all that shit before he's found guilty. If he's guilty, you damn sure will hear from Sarnetta. and that's it until he's found guilty, not before.
Yeah, I mean, for me, in certain places, when you get certain convictions in certain states, in certain circumstances, then then a lot of times the court is just like pomp and circumstance. It's just so that the justice could be served in terms of constitutional justice. But it's very difficult to get around certain things because they wouldn't make an arrest at all. But they get these things. So there's that part. So that's as far as Michael goes. And then for me,
you need me to ask the questions off for you.
Say that again.
I said, can you see the chat?
No.
Apologize.
Yeah. It said, did you apologize to Nandy?
Who's asking that question?
Melanated.
Hey, Remy. Yeah, you want to come up?
That's Melanated. Do she know me?
Chat
Melanated, let me ask you, do you know me, Melanated? Have you ever spoke to me? Do you know what the beef started over, Melanated? See, people ask shit like that, and they don't even know how shit started. They just become bandwagon riders, you see, or they jump on bandwagon.
They have a ladies' night, Nico.
Why do I have to apologize? Hold on, brother. Why should I have to apologize to Nandy? That means you assume that I'm guilty of starting shit with Nandy.
Oh, okay.
See, that's what people just jump out the window.
Yeah, you can still run it because you're going to run it from a different angle anyway.
How come you should have asked me, did Nandy apologize to you? See how easy that is? But you ain't going to ask that. You feel that I started it because you getting into the shit. Oh, Sarnetta, tell the friend.
Y'all just waiting still, Remy?
Did she apologize to you?
No, she ain't. Nandy ego is too damn big to apologize to me. She needs to stop.
Hold on. Hey, is Melanin Sutek okay?
Okay. So what, they stabilizing?
No, I haven't seen Melanin Sutek in a minute.
And how is Empress that?
The last time I seen Empress Segment was in the hospital, and this was last year, for a tumor. She had a tumor growing out of her, somewhere in her body, and she was down and out for a while. But guess what Brother Sarnetta did that nobody did?
Okay.
I went on the internet, I got her Cashapp, and I stayed up all day, and I had people show her love and support. And they donated directly to Segment. That's what they did.
I mean, have you heard of she okay now?
Yes, I think she's a little okay.
Thank
but
you.
She's still going through it because she had a tumor.
Was that Stone Gatherer?
Is she on chemo or she?
I don't know. I always, every time I say, damn, I got to call Segment to see how she's doing, my day get hectic. And I just almost flip and forget. I do forget. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, Stone Gatherer. Thank you.
Right. I damn sure got to hook up with her and see what's up. And guess what? This is when we had our fallout. She went over to ISUBK. The Hebrews ain't do none of that. I think I must have raised at least some G's for her. And she called me the next day and didn't even know she had it in the. No, matter of fact, I called her and I said, check your Cash App. And she looked at the Cash App and broke down and started crying because she needed that. She ain't had nothing. She needed that. And that shit made me feel good. Shout out to Segment.
His answer was that he feels like the situation is unresolved and there needs to be a mutual apology with him. So because there is none that he won't apologize unless she is. So that's the answer to that. The other question in chat side that was have you spoken to Natural Tahuti?
He said video on Natural Tahuti.
What about the video?
Hey Robert, he said do a video on Natural Tahuti. He wants you to do a video on Natural Tahuti. You skipping question, Jay.
Well, then I like to. I'm sorry. Well, I like to know, have you seen him and talked to him, and how's the brother going?
No, he's up in PA, and I talked to him, and the last time I spoke to Tahuti was last year, and he was in good spirits, but you know, that's the last time I spoke to him.
You know the guy's release date?
No.
So he's up in Fed then.
Yeah, yes, he's in feds.
Oh, Robert said he wants you to do an update video.
Yeah, you know when I call him, I will do an update. I will do an update when I give him a call.
Hada says, what is your mission?
Who?
Hara.
My mission now have changed. My mission is to take care of my family, make sure we all right. Stop trying to save the world. Don't worry about everybody. Just worry about you and everything that you can control, not anything that I can't control. All right? That's my mission. Is to do my work and do my job. That's my mission. I'm not out there trying to do everything. I'm doing what Sarnetta want to do now. That's my mission.
So
Making sure my children is all right. My twins they went to college. They out right now. They working. They doing good. And so that's what I'm happy about.
Congratulations.
Yes. Africa and Asante. And my son Nigel. And my son Darrell. And my son Montel. Yes, I got
basically
five.
Alchemist.
You got granddaddy vibes coming on.
And I got two grandchildren. I got two grandchildren. And they all working except for my grandchildren. All of them out there is holding their own, got their apartment, doing their thing. So goddamn, I ain't know if I'm gonna touch a bad man. Shit, I'll have to do something right. I did something right. Something right. Goddamn.
Never said you was all bad. You have to just acknowledge what's been done wrong and correct it.
Mm-hmm.
That seems to be the thing.
Well, why do they got to be only Sarnetta? I'm quite sure if you look at hold on. Well, hold on. You know why people look at me? And I say this. For the people who criticize me, can you imagine how their life is? See, my life is transparent because I'm on
everybody's criticism is not invalid.
Right. I agree.
You, is it coming from a place of hurt or jealousy?
I agree. I'm with you on that.
Okay, so why are you focusing on the people that are coming from that place instead of the people that are giving you constructive criticism?
Because I had built up a goddamn wall when I don't know if it's
right,
Alchemist.
Alchemist.
Or it is, just being spirit. I don't know.
I mean, he opened this conversation up saying we ain't got beef with you like that. You just standing in the way sometimes.
Hey, sometimes I just gotta stay sharp and stay on point. That's the way I am. CCCTV beat me up for years. So I gotta stay on point.
You should not. If Pop didn't get in the car, it would have been Suge Knight we talking about.
Nah, I should have said it all up though, I believe.
Yeah, going to that part, but you understand what I'm trying to say.
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
Sometimes you can't get in the car with the dude if you know, like you mistake, man. You got to get the
right.
You got to get me hit up. It's been many a time I chose that there's been very good friends of mine. I say, we can't hang together no more, my nigga. You know what I'm saying? Because you might get me hit up. It is what it is.
So you said just remove yourself from polite, but you said if he gets convicted, you're gonna do that immediately, right? Not until then, but you're gonna do it then, right? You still there? Or you froze again?
Yeah, I think that's what the people would like to see, but I think that Sarnetta is going into independent media, maybe like internet reality stars, something like that. He's doing something that brings the bills. So moving forward.
Sarnetta, you still there? It'll come back in a moment, or he'll come back up unless he goes.
He'll double the account again and be back. But I think that's what I got from what I heard is that Sarnetta is moving forward to take care of his family and do things that he can go buy, granddaddy presents. But granddaddy presents got to be extravagant. So
he the only one that come over here. Polite see me and block my ass.
I think that with that being said, as Sarnetta is the founder of the online conscious community, right? Like the consciousness, Sarnetta is the
okay, hold on for a second, Shaggy. Sarnetta, I just want you to say this before we go further.
This is when the phones froze up.
Yeah, we can hear you. I want you to say this before we go really further, as usual. Please tell these people that we accepted beforehand. We don't have no communication behind the scenes. You just came over here randomly. You still there?
Oh man, sorry.
Well, you said no before. Yeah. So.
You don't know Sarnetta.
I just always make them give that respect.
I've run into Sarnetta a couple times. We've been in the same room a couple times, but we don't have each other's phone number, nor do I have his Instagram account.
Don, I never go seeking him out. He always pop up over here unexpectedly. You hear what I say? What do you want now?
Contact by any kind of communications, I'm gonna send these. Now, I don't think this I would laugh at him, so sorry.
Maybe you need to move from where you at, because that signal bad.
Testing 1 2 1 2.
There you go. We can hear you now. Now, yes, can you just please make that statement for the people?
With that again.
Lord Jesus.
So I just reiterate that no one knows Sarnetta personally. We don't hang out. I've never sat on the red couch.
Not even that. We don't be on the phone. We didn't set this up beforehand. This was not plotted.
Nah, Sarnetta was just going around the street.
There you go.
So Sarnetta, you unblock me?
You still there? Yo, Frank, drop down off both of them and come up and check your audio. Yeah,
turn off your device. If you have a cover or a case on your device, take the case off. You might be overheating. If it's the computer, I don't know what to tell you.
He on that phone.
If it's the phone, if you got a case on it, take the case off. You might want to turn the phone off and turn it back on and let it cool down a little bit.
I know, right, Jenny? We was not expecting this tonight. Yeah, the signal went bad on both of them. Jenny, the Wi-Fi box. Then it went good.
You just having a good old
Hey, Dino, good morning. Yeah, it's 3:30 in this joint.
Having a wonderful roast of the leaves, y'all.
Yes, and Eugenie.
Eugene kind of look roasted. Look like somebody so they both look.
He looked depressed and sad. That's what he looked.
Man,
And you know how you char a chili and put it in the bag to scrape the skin out?
I can tell you
that's what makes you want to look like.
That going to court for any crime is no fun.
Good, outstanding when she said no bond. Outstanding. No,
that's because he probably got dementia.
He do. I know probably got it. We all know. Look at the mess he was doing before they got him.
Yo, I was watching clips, and he had a clip, and I just turned on the video, and the video, this nigga said, "My penis is growing." Oh my God, yes. It's growing, yes.
I'm telling you,
certifiable. Like, yo, he's sitting on live TV at a desk, and I said, "This is comical. This is like, what is this?" And it's dementia. And but the funny part about it is that all of that stuff, all of that higher self, and I'm a manifestation of God, and God comes down, and da 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 da. The guy who made that stuff up was batshit crazy too.
Reflection infections.
Yo, the thing
Coming soon. That new mixtape from Nature Boy.
God
Reflection on my infection. That's that 22 banger.
In the book, he says this is how he met the prophet. He was walking in the mountains in California.
Do y'all hear me now?
Yeah,
we heard now.
Damn, I had to reboot my damn phone.
Yeah. StreamYard and Restream been acting funky for like the past couple
It's gonna, like when you on your phone, it's gonna make your phone work super hard. It's gonna get overheated.
But yeah,
Yeah, what
let's
was
go ahead and make this statement real quick before we continue.
Say that again?
I say just go ahead and make that statement before we continue. We ain't been done.
What statement?
I know. I went outside and there was people out there, Don.
Oh no, hell no. I just jumped on. I do what I do sometimes, Like yesterday, I jumped on Sister Mandy. And man, Sister Mandy was going there.
Lord.
Yeah, man, that's what I do. I jump on and I troll a little bit. Shit, if I feel bored, I'll be like, man, let me go mess with CCCTV.
See, he admitted it.
Because y'all the ones
he
that
be
talk about it.
he
So
be
when
trolling. Hey, Shabo.
Mandy, when I popped up on her screen, she did the same thing you did.
You haven't heard my name opening. You know how fuck these guys, they be trolling, trying to put that wankies on your screen and stuff. I just
No. You know what? You're right, because they did it to me the day before yesterday. And I do the same thing. I always say turn on your camera. So I know what you're saying. They caught me like that the day before yesterday. These are some freaky ass people, man. But when I went over to Mandy, she did the same thing. She said, I don't know if there's something there, though. Let me see if there's something there. And
they would let us hear audio without pulling the camera up.
Yeah, I've been over there with Mandy yesterday for like damn 3 hours. Man, I was just going in. Yeah, I pull up.
Oh,
I ain't never came
that type of well, I guess you answered that question. That like you're doing like regular YouTube media.
Oh, somebody asked. I think did somebody ask? Did you ever follow York? But I think the answer to that is no, right?
I've never followed Dr. York. I didn't even know of Dr. York until Paul came into my life. I never heard of him.
Here go that old stale Lipton's. But if we heat it up and put some sugar in it, it's still good.
Yes, I think Brother Polite was. And let me tell you how I met. I met Polite because he knew me. I didn't know him. He heard of a brother on 125th Street giving a white man hell. And so he wrote about me because I used to go in on Dr. York. And he put me in his book. And he sent Amanette over with the book to give me a copy of it. And Amanette said, because I didn't even know at the time, I seen her as a beautiful black chocolate young lady. And so she came over to me and she said, brother, son, so nice and sweet. And I'm looking at her, I'm like, man, what's up? What's happening? She said, because she knew my name. I didn't know her. And she was like, yeah, Brother Polite wrote about you in the book. Now, she didn't say whether it was good or bad, and she gave me the book. And I said, well, where is Polite? And she said, he's over there across the street. Polite was so fucking scared of me, he didn't even want to come across the street. Now, Polite even said that on his own video when he first met me, because I was too goddamn militant out there. So, and the brother, no, I'm not lying, because he said he knew me from that time. He'll tell you, I was hardcore militant at that time. You know, am I right or wrong, brother?
No, you would.
Yeah. And so when I get up there with the way, I didn't want to face me.
Yeah, I'll hear you. You said you put you can ask you for $1 afterwards. Okay, so were you aware of the shooting at the bookstore at the time?
No, never heard of it. I heard about it later on in our conversations that something happened between Polite and Dr. York's son, something like that, where a shooting took place. But I didn't know nothing about that. King Simon will be the one to break all of that down. He know all of that.
Access to King Simon.
Yeah, King Simon know all that.
Yeah, Don.
If you want to bring him on, I can get him. I can get him on that. King Simon will break all that down.
About Eugene.
So how long you know King Simon for?
About the same time I know Polite, around that time. Because remember, Polite was with King
Like
Simon.
all around like that 2010 range.
Yeah, Polite was with King Simon.
You never got into the blog talk thing though.
The what?
The
Blog Talk Radio.
No, no, brother. That's where I started at. I had a blog talk radio show. Remember, it was me and Tahuti. It was me and Tahuti.
Oh, you did you?
Yeah, and we was going in. Remember, that's when it was the Walls was there with Nikki. Remember Nikki Love and all that?
Love, yeah. That's when you have Brother Panic on there all the time.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. Damn. So that's like what, 2010? 2009?
Well, see that? We've been working, brother. We've been putting in work, man.
Yeah, I was out in the community then.
Yeah.
That's what I was doing, like youth outreach and things of that nature. So we pretty much it almost seems like like a pimp would go send one of his
Hey, love me, bro.
Yeah, I saw it like that too. But check this out. See, this is goes to show you that people don't know. Buccaneer, B. Buccaneer said 6 foot Polite was scared of 5'2" Frank.
Oh yeah. You ain't never been in the same room with Polite.
Brother, check this out, brother.
You ain't
Check this out, brother. They don't know that when I did my time, I did 5 years in Clinton Correctional Facility. Guess who had the most heart up in there? It was the little niggas that had heart.
Oh, you was in there with my uncle. What year was that?
I was in Clinton Correctional Facility from 90 in the 90s.
You was in there with the baby?
With the who?
With the baby.
I don't know. That was a long time ago, so I don't know.
Yeah, you probably be gone now.
So so when they say that size, it don't matter what the size. You know?
Nah, right.
Yeah,
They got a 6 foot, being 6 foot and lanky.
It's all about the heart. It's the heart that counts.
Yeah.
And believe me, so I never had a heart in the streets of home.
We all watched that white boy fold up Young Pharaoh, so.
I didn't see that.
Oh, you remember when Sticky Fingers got beat up by the white boy on MTV?
No.
You don't remember that neither? You was real pro-black. You probably would have been able to watch that.
Nah, I didn't see none of that.
Like that.
Oh, Robert says, where's Brother Kent?
Kid? Brother Kid?
Kent.
Kent.
Oh, Kid, God bless him, he passed away a long time ago.
Oh, God.
Kid been going for like more than 10 years, I think.
So you gotta do them rest in peace little shorts with the
Yeah, but I didn't do that. Yeah, I played the video a long time ago.
What?
Yeah, but when you put it in another video, people tend to miss it.
Yeah. And the brother that asked that question, yeah, he go back too. He knows. That was a long time ago.
So if I may ask, how did he pass?
I don't know. One day, I think one of his family members came on her 25th and told her that he passed away. I think he passed away in his sleep too. It was in his sleep, so I don't know. You know.
How about brother Sutek? How you doing?
So Sutek is good. He called me today. Sutek is all right. He's out there in Atlanta. Sutek doing his thing.
Yeah, man, it was always nice to have brother Sutek come on there and be a voice a few times.
Yeah, no doubt.
But you know, like I said in the interim, like I don't think that everybody has ill intention. I know that for a fact. Everybody does not have ill intention, but I think that there is an energy over that doctrine, and I think that you know you got the Marcus Garvey and Elijah Muhammad were working with the KKK, and the KKK viewed them as their black arm. Now, how they viewed it, I don't know. But if these white boys is viewing them as you're my niggas in the street.
So now let me ask you a question because you made that statement.
Yes, sir.
What did Elijah Muhammad bring to us from the KKK?
Okay. So there is a thing, right, where in the time that Elijah Muhammad was working, right, there was this a dichotomy, right, and amongst white people about black people, right. We know the racist idea, right? Black people aren't going to be able to live in society and this, that, and third, and all this other shit, right? And there were certain things in this doctrine that, though they were framed in a way, like if I say the black man is God and the white man is the devil, right? And then in the reality,
too long. Do you know why we had a meeting? Do you know why Elijah Muhammad met up with the KKK?
let me finish. I know why he says he did.
Give me a short version, brother.
Okay, the short version is this. In 1963, I believe, Malcolm X was called to have showed up with the other brother in Atlanta. I can't remember his name right now. Oh, Philadelphia. Now, I'm gonna move quick. But Elijah Muhammad, because I'm gonna fuck it up. I just gonna run it down. So FS Fellows meets with Malcolm X and the Claw. The discussion is that they would like Malcolm X to give up the location of different various locations.
Lord.
Martin Luther King in Atlanta, so that the KKK could kill Martin Luther King.
No, brother.
That's exactly what happened.
They met up, brother. No, brother. That's a lie. They simply met up.
You're gonna make it, so I bring up the documents.
Bring up the documents, brother. And then you gonna find these documents.
We ain't bringing up no documents tonight.
They simply met up, brother, because they both was in agreement of segregation.
At that point, we was live for 6.5 hours. No documentage was being shown that night.
Separating our people. And I tell you what, that's what happened. The people want to Twitter and do all this other stuff. I was holding documents back.
That doesn't Malcolm X and the Nation of Islam had a whole big idea about the differences between segregation and separation. And the KKK said, we don't give a fuck about that. We just want you niggas gone.
Yes, I meant to say separation. That's what I meant to say. Separation.
It meant the same thing, and it didn't matter. The difference they were creating was meaningless.
Yeah.
So what was going on was that the NOI was trying to help the KKK assassinate Martin Luther King.
No, they didn't.
And when Malcolm refused, and he made outward statements saying he refused, that was part of the beginning of him being ousted from the NOI. Now,
No, brother, that's a lie, brother. You ain't gonna find no information on Malcolm saying no.
Okay, so let's move on to the next question.
Now, a year after
Let's move on to the next question.
I just need to say this.
Y'all still there? Or everybody done left being nosy?
Purchases the NOI, the Muhammad Farms or whatever, the NOI farm, right in Georgia in the center of Klan territory. So it stands to reason that the Klan gave them that broke down farm that never produced shit. H.L. Hunt was funding his entire movement, so all those businesses that he had that weren't producing anything outside of New York, which was the only business in the black, the rest of those businesses were funded by H.L. Hunt. The house that he had in Arizona and all the money that was in his bank account when he died was funded by H.L. Hunt, the father of the head, the father of the founder of the NFL, the father of the head of the Libyan oil reserve. And then wasn't it Libya who offered the NOI money afterwards? In the 80s with Farrakhan? So they're still in the Hunt family's pocket.
This was last night, Love Me Fro. Late, well, early this morning.
Don't play that game online. Don't ever do that.
I ain't gonna say you won't, you just misinformed.
No, I'm far from misinformed. You're misinformed because you get your information from Klan agents.
Okay, brother. All right.
Why did they kill Malcolm? Because Malcolm was moving toward staying in this country and getting reparations. So then the KKK paid the NOI to kill Malcolm.
No, they didn't, brother. That's a lie, bro.
No, it's
You
not.
coming up with lies, brother. That's not real, man.
That is very real.
Okay.
No, it's not.
That's what happened. And
That's not what happened, brother.
And it makes sense. All that.
Yeah, it was.
All made fantasy. What makes sense is
It's a new Polite video in there too. Before this.
And the NOI killed Malcolm. The KKK was totally happy with
No, they
that.
didn't, man. They killed Malcolm because he felt. They killed Malcolm because he was a. They felt that he was committed treason.
Okay, agree to disagree.
He went on an apology tour saying,
No, that's not wow.
to get right.
That is dangerous teaching, brother.
Guilty about what he did.
That's a dangerous teaching.
Okay, remember that we do background checks on the people that we have on the platform now.
That I'm right.
Jaded.
Don't call me a liar, nigga.
It's not real, brother. I'm just saying it's not real.
No, your bullshit teaching is not real.
Whatever.
Far
Jaded.
I bet you can't prove it. I can prove it.
Jaded.
They simply killed Malcolm because Malcolm went against the Honorable Elijah Muhammad, brother. Simple as that. He went against his teacher. They felt he committed treason. All this extra stupid, dumb, pseudo bullshit you put in is garbage. You can't prove it. You won't be able to show up no records or no documents on it. So that's what we mean about black people. We always making up stupid shit. Nothing in Millicent.
I implore you to go on my channel and go look up the NOI killed Malcolm X. I already got
I'm not gonna look up that foolishness. That's foolishness.
I already got documentation, dude. Malcolm is the one who said it. Malcolm is the one who said it.
Malcolm ain't never say that.
Malcolm is the one who said it.
Now you lying on Malcolm, brother.
Go, I got his voice. Go watch the video.
You lying on Malcolm, brother. I got everything Malcolm ever put out. You lying on.
And on February 23rd, February 15th, he did a radio interview with Aubrey Barnett. He says in that interview that the NOI was funded by H.L. Hunt. Then he explains how it was funded by H.L. Hunt. Then he explains how much money he was making as a speaker. A lot of money for an organization that only catered to black people.
Okay, Remy says, do you do background checks on the people you have on the platform now?
No, I don't.
You should.
Maybe I should, but I don't.
When you end up getting in beef, then you end up having all the records. So when do you come up with that stuff?
I don't know. I didn't hear what you said.
Like when you got into a beef with Taharka Bay, right? Then you produced all these his prison background, all that stuff. So you just went and Googled that stuff, like when you got in the beef, like when you go see what's up with this type shit.
No, I didn't do that at all. I got people that do show love to me. I got hitters out there. It's called the HOK Hit Squad, and they go and do the background check for me. And they will give me certain things, and they will give me this and show me. So I never did it myself, but people will send me shit in my email, and I'm quite sure that goes on with everybody. People send shit about me in their email. You know what I'm saying? To people, to Taharka. You know.
Gotcha. So, do you think that information is legit about him being ex offender?
Yes, the documents is out there, brother. Just like, you ever heard of Solomon?
Yes.
You ain't see what I did.
Throwing that over here, unless you have the
I'll just say this, right?
No, I did not just say we ain't gonna do that.
Now, we ain't gonna do that, but guess what, Jay? You see how she talked about polite? You see how she talked about
no, because I'm not gonna still up and trying to tell you my parents out again,
but hold on.
you know everybody else you don't know about that?
Say that again. Say that again.
He ain't gonna come at you. He ain't gonna come at Jaded. He gonna sit up here and try to send people to my parents' house again.
Oh shit! All right, I got you.
So,
like I said, if you can send me the documents, what I got his record, and it don't say that on there. That's all I know.
That's what I was gonna say. Like in other documents, it's like in other case.
Who are you talking about?
Him, the same person y'all was just talking about. But like I said, we ain't.
I said Solomon.
I him either, because no.
I was just saying this.
He trying to be slick and cause an entanglement right here by throwing Solar under the bus. But like I said, if you can give me some documents that ain't got misspelled words in the wrong font and shit, then maybe we got something to talk about.
But I thought we was against rape and follow.
Yes, we are. If you can send me some paperwork that ain't fucked up like the one you showed with the misspelled words and shit.
Which one?
That on the website that I can access and make sure it can. The ones on Solar. That's all I know.
No, guess what? Solar showed his own paperwork. He showed his own. And he got, no, listen. You gotta. Hold on.
Love you too, Don.
He didn't do what they were trying to do.
That he did on his own goddamn show.
All of it, no. And when have you seen me over there with Solar?
He admitted.
How many people can I go out
there? He admitted. Right. He did what he did.
No, because you just sat up here and said that I was wrong for doing what I'm doing. But now, when I don't want to talk about a particular person, it's, oh, well, ain't this what we do? I'm one person.
Yeah, I mean, in all fairness, you can't take both positions. The same position that you took with Michael, we gotta take with them say that if more information comes out, then I tell you, for me personally, I want to get every single SFL off of the planet. Like if that means prison, yes. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I agree with that. All I say is just go and look at his whole interview and see what he said. That's it.
Do you know how much stuff is in my email right now? Do you know how many videos that I have to go through and download and edit?
No,
Do
I
you
mean,
know I still have to work to take care of a child?
Well,
I
you
have
don't
one
have to
person
edit.
training
Look at his
why?
interview, and you'll hear him say what he said. Look at his whole interview. His own people questioned him on it, and he told what happened.
Yes, and it's not exactly what you implied on your platform now, is it?
See, he said he pulled his penis out in the library. In the library with people walking around. He got head in the library. He said that.
See, notice how first he says he pulled his wanky woo out. Then he says he was getting top in the library. He was in the stacks with his girl, and it ain't right, but it ain't the R word, it ain't the P word, it ain't none of that, which he was trying to imply.
And then he said somebody walked up on him and seen him. Of course, nigga, you in the library. Oh man, that's how he.
I'm not condoning it, but at the same thing, it ain't what he trying to imply it is.
Parenting adults, no. See, now you trying to sit up here and mix up two situations.
No.
No.
And listen to the video. When he talked about he was going to rape the kid's child. He said it. And that's what every girl came back and said she didn't say that, and he.
See how he slid from the incident at the library? See what he didn't tell you what the child is another incident, and she later went back to the DA and retracted her statement. But let's continue.
Show that paperwork,
so why would he say that about himself?
Do that over here.
You're lying.
Why would he try to do that over here? Because he said still not polite. Who the police got 6 points in DNA on. You want to sit up here and go with a dismissed case on Solomon? Boy, stop.
I'm telling you his own interview. Why are you scared to look at it? Why are you afraid to look at his own interview? Yeah, he said it.
And you sitting up here talking in circles on that.
He told you.
At this point, I was tired, y'all. I was real tired.
You want to sit up here and say I lied on you when you can't name one. Can't even name one. Because if I did something, you'd have named it already. But you done called me out my name a couple of times thinking I was somebody else. You don't let that shit fly. Yes, you have. You cut me out thinking I was thinking I was Queen's Throne.
Well, that was just for you.
And you never acknowledged it, and you never apologized. You ain't got no problem with that. But you want to sit up here and call me on shit that I ain't even dead. Man, please. The goalpost is being moved entirely too much for my liking, okay?
Okay.
So now we're trying to run circles around me, or we can sit up here and have a dignified conversation like adults. Which one do you want?
I want the conversation.
Did it click cricket video?
Cricket? I think so, they used to.
Maybe that's what's going on. You're playing cricket, not football. Can you pull the goal?
Any more tough questions for me?
I haven't been tough tonight.
You got the shit up.
No, that man said you cussed him out a couple of weeks ago for what he don't know. You don't think he just been snapping on you because the pressure been tough?
Indigenous black man know exactly why I cursed his monkey ass out.
Oh, you gonna unblock me?
Huh? You gonna unblock?
Jaden stayed on that all night. You gonna unblock me?
I don't got you blocked. You sure? No, I have you blocked. What did you do?
I got on the phone and I called into the show.
Oh, you got to block on the phone.
Windmilling for polite, knowing that he don't know shit about the law because he doesn't have a degree in the law. He has a degree in computer science. And then you said, "Oh, I can't let you talk about my brother like that." And then you took me and then you blocked me from the chat. I don't know if you let me back.
Nah, hell no. Hell no.
So I'm not blocked.
No, you was on the phone. Why would you be blocked?
No, I'm talking about he blocked me out the chat.
Nah, brother. No,
I'm not
I wouldn't block you for that.
Okay, I won't be on your next live just to check.
Yeah, I wouldn't block you for that.
I'm being on your next live just to check, and then you're gonna know it's me because I'm gonna say Reggie got a degree in computer science.
That is true.
That's gonna be the code. Now people gonna watch this video and go over. You gonna see about 10 people in the chat talking about Reggie y'all degree in computer science.
So you'll know it's gonna be.
Oh, and then say he won't.
Did you know Reggie wasn't a lawyer?
Block him, and he'll light you up on Christianity.
They all see that too. We in that damn chat.
He worked at a law firm and got fired because the lawyer cut him out and he tried to sue the law firm and got thrown out. Did you know that?
I didn't hear the first part.
Yeah, he was never a lawyer. He worked at a law firm as the computer IT guy. And then the lawyer got mad at him and was calling him stupid and slow. And then they fired him. So then Reggie tried to sue the law firm for calling him stupid and slow. And they blew it out. So it just be wild to me sometimes. He gets this expert leadership thing. He wasn't even a competent IT guy for a law firm. Let alone a lawyer.
Hey, CCC, I wish you would have gave me that German Shepherd. I don't know what you do with that German Shepherd you have.
Why do you keep bringing up Anu?
Yeah, Anu, I like Anu. I don't know why you did that.
I don't want to talk about Anu. I don't want to hear about Anu. Real Anu. I miss my baby.
No, that boy didn't jump on the roofs, dude. That was at the apartment.
Oh, hold on. I skipped too far forward.
The nigga told me for light went up to the roof and that his kid.
It was on 7th Avenue.
They used to say that nigga was shell shocked. Like they used to say about the old folk that came back from World War II, was shell shocked.
I ain't gonna front. I was loving Uno because I seen when you first got him, he was a puppy. And I had a gentleman, and his name was
But we had champion lines down both sides.
I had a German Shepherd just like that one, same color, everything. And he was full grown, and he was trained by professionals. And I had him where I said, I'm gonna train him. I don't want to say sit. Everybody say sit. I said, place it. And he was like, pow, stay right there. I can walk to the corner, around the corner, his ass would still be there. The police killed him.
Oh, do you have one of the big ass dogs at home?
Yes, the police killed him. A lot of people get German Shepherds.
That big ass motherfucker.
A few people get German Shepherds. A lot of people get German Shepherds.
As long as you want them.
Like Queens, Long Island.
They can find apartments as long as you walk them.
Yo, my brother. Homeboy was raising people. There was a brother by the name of Twan. He was raising a tiger and a goddamn alligator in Harlem, brother. Don't tell me you ain't heard about
I
that.
heard a story about a nigga with an alligator.
You heard about that lion roaming around Texas?
That was you saying how really did have an alligator like the nigga said that alligator project.
It was in the projects, brother. I was right there with the police. They had to scale the wall on the outside.
Alligator, but you can't get out the projects.
They had to shoot the alligator through the window.
You talking about the joint over there at 145th by Lexington? What is that?
It was on 7th Avenue, 143rd Street. 7th Avenue.
Oh,
You remember?
shoot,
Like,
I wanted to ask a question about a store. Was that shit wrong with asking again? I forgot.
Yeah, that's how familiar. Yep. Yeah.
He heard.
But you telling me that was a witness? That's crazy. Nigga,
He learned something to
Brother, if you type it up, you'll see it. This is all of the thing. You
I'm
can
just
see it.
asking you, but the nigga, I'm gonna tell you, nigga, they told me that story. Oh my God, I roasted that nigga.
Maximo said, "Do you remember a store called Creative Nutrition?"
Yeah, that was on 127th, 126th Street. It was a Dr. York store.
Alex Clayton Powell in the 1930s.
I think it was a Dr. York store, if I'm not mistaken. That's what he's talking about?
He gone to bed, but he was asking, did you remember it?
Yeah, that was a store where Polite was working at.
He was working at that one too?
Yeah, later on.
So that's the one he started.
What's the store that he went that the people came in to get the dude kids and he like took up on the building and was jumping over the roof from roof?
Oh, I don't know about that. I never heard that.
Yeah. No, I met that dude. I met the dude that said like he said that it was his kids that the people was hating and shit and like helped them take his kids there.
No, that wasn't. They could jump on the roofs, dude. That was at the apartment. The nigga
told me that Polite jumped on. The nigga told me Polite went up to the roof and had his kids like was hope like on some malicious shit, I guess, but like was well, I guess, but he was hiding the kids on the roof with him while the people was wherever they was looking for the kids.
Yeah, all that bullshit. I would have heard about that.
They didn't open the door. That case is unlocked. They didn't even open the door for the folk when they came.
No, this is a different dude. There's a whole nother dude. This is another. There's another. His name was some hotel.
Y'all keep work. They say, do you think Michael Nowak is Polite's real name?
I don't know what his name is. No.
I think that once you get into the American court system and they take your fingerprints and they charge you, they know your name.
Yeah.
They fucked my name up and they had me locked up under a
alligator in the hood.
My name was fucked up.
I'm surprised CCC.
We heard of innocent people being locked up, but we ain't heard of people being locked up as the wrong person for extended periods of time.
I'm surprised CCCTV ain't played a video with Polite and his father together.
It's there, but I mean, it's only like I played that little minute and a half clip, that long one. No,
I mean, we don't
but it's not really his father.
Kind of look like him, but it's not.
Let me ask you, what's Polite's father's name?
I never met him. I don't even know. I never met him.
Is he still alive?
Yes, he's still alive. He did an interview with him like I think last year, 2 years ago.
And he still live in the same spot.
In Brooklyn.
And yep, in that little duplex. No, quadplex, whatever you call it.
Grandma. Well, yeah, the thing about it is, though, in 2010, he was presenting like Dr. York was really his father.
Yeah.
Dr. York's real children came out and said, no, he's not. And then he was like, oh, that's my
But Dr. York is the one that married him and his wife, and Dr. York is the one that gave them their names.
He did all that from prison, though.
Yes,
He never met him in person.
No, he didn't. Yeah, that is true.
I'm not shooting anyone.
Yeah, with some little Nuwapian symbols around.
Yeah, you're right. That's a good point. Yeah.
Oh my goodness, because that was before they restricted his access.
Hey, yo, I bet the COs read that letter and had a hell of a laugh.
He used to send out the letters to everybody. He had like that was something special. Dr. York named my children personally. He did that to everybody. He sent out letters from jail naming the children.
Right.
That's like me saying McDonald's gave me a We Are the World record.
When they was giving it out with the Happy Meal that you bought.
I got a present from McDonald's every weekend when I was a kid.
Yeah, indigenous, it comes in waves. It comes, look, I told y'all it's time for these cults to start back up. Because
You know, I ain't never been on the CCCTV. I ain't never been on CCCTV this long.
Yeah, because you usually get ran off last time.
You kick me off right away. You be scared of my stuff.
Cause you be sitting up there telling other people clothes and shit.
No, I don't. I never do that.
You did last time.
Oh, you got that. Don't make me call you on your live.
I never do that.
For 5 years.
You know that's going to be a phone before?
I didn't say me.
So,
I said, talking about clothes.
Yo, you did everything but say giggity after you talk. Oh God, we gotta do that. You and Father, yeah.
Who was it? Who calls us for
Sometimes you come over here, you be a little loose.
You spoke under who calls?
You talk about, I was gonna make you one of my wives.
I was.
You ain't never got my permission.
Yo, you gotta understand that Sarnetta has reached the dirty old man phase of his life.
Nah, man.
We all know Sarnetta got worms. That is not.
Oh yeah, that's what you used to say. That's what you used to say all the time.
Got worms. All that ain't just you. All old men ain't dirty, but dirty old men got worms.
But that's what you used to always say to me.
Yeah, you got about worms.
I don't got no goddamn worms.
Yo, you get out of line niggas with worms.
You got worms by proxy at the least.
Man, cut it out.
You got them Freddy Krueger worms floating around your apartment homes.
Man, y'all should be careful.
Hold on. Y'all gonna have silence in the corner tonight. Yeah, right. Shit. Hold on. You interviewed Nature Boy twice, right?
No, I think I interviewed Nature Boy like maybe 4 or 5 times. He also come to the house before.
No. I mean, recently. Hold on, Jay. I'm going somewhere with this.
Okay.
Recently.
Yes, twice.
Twice, right? Okay, so after you interviewed him, did you have any weird dreams?
No.
Okay.
Yo, that's what I was about to say. Sarnetta may be the only person who has an extended period of time that hasn't let it the fuck up.
Indigenous is a fool. I would advise y'all never to drink after Sarnetta. Save himself.
For extended periods of time and has not let it the fuck up.
You know, the last time I spoke to him, let me tell y'all this. This is real fact. He called me on the phone. This was before I brought him on. He said, yo, son, man, listen. I want you to be my cameraman. You gonna be my cameraman. I need you to go wherever I go. Don't worry about it. I got it. I'm gonna pay you. I'm gonna give you this. I'm gonna give you that. I said, man, listen.
That's gonna be my cameraman.
That's it, bro. I can't do that. I'm not traveling all over, nigga. I said, I'm not traveling all over the world, especially being your cameraman. You crazy?
Yo,
If you would have got paid.
if you would have went around the world with Nature Boy,
I already know.
me too. He'd have been like, bro, my feet, nigga.
Shit.
I own you. I made you.
I asked him, Robert, but he didn't know till I told him.
He would have made you actually live. That's the thing, like, yo, everybody who was over there probably then dug up in Malia. And Malia got pretty much every STD. I don't even know how you do that. I thought other STDs like came in the house like, oh, I didn't see you was up in here. And they rolled out. I didn't know you could have all the STDs. But yeah, you may be the only one that hasn't gone crazy.
I told y'all years ago, I said there was no idea
Go book a doctor, yo.
and create her persiflades. And here goes Maya.
But yo, if you have any kind of dreams or you hear somebody make a or anything like that in your dream, go see the doctor immediately. Because you see what happened. You see what happened to young Pharaoh. Young Pharaoh hanging out with Nature Boy, and then all of a sudden he can't be Nature Boy.
Girl, she was about to die. Hey, Jack. She was about to die. She had every STD known to man. They get a damn near functioning again. She take her ass back over there with Nature Boy.
But Sarnetta, man, understand. I hope you understand it.
Hold on, wait a minute, JD. Sarnetta, I just want to ask you, what was the first thought in your mind when he walked down the damn stairs and they was standing there all lined up and shit like it was.
Yo, I was bugging out. Me and the father was looking like, yo, what the fuck is going on? And now he tried to warn me. He tried to warn me. He said, Sarnetta, this is going to be an interview like none other. And I didn't expect him to act like that. I was like, what the fuck is going on? So he must have had a chip in him or something. Something was going on. That wasn't the Nature Boy I knew.
You get syphilis, right? And you don't get treated for long periods of time, it starts to correlate the liver and your.
That is true.
And it starts to eat away his brain, like his impulse control, and all this other stuff.
Well, here's the deepest question, though, brother. What makes people follow this sick ass nigga?
Because
you see this crazy shit. Who can follow this nigga like that?
Let's go into that, right? You have Musa, right? And just looking at Musa, right? Because we can understand why the women are going to it, right? We can get that. But you look at Musa, and Musa gives me the impression that he probably was led by people. Like he had like a.
Musa had a car accident and had a traumatic brain injury.
And then there's the brain injury, but he's been led around his life. So now he's reached manhood, and now Nature Boy starts talking about manhood and being a man and things like that. He runs off. You got Ace, who's wrestling with his sexuality. You know what I'm saying? And then he's covered that with all this spiritual information, which a lot of people are doing. So he runs over there. And I'm sure that the other guys are somewhere around that line. Like these guys struggle with their masculinity and stuff like that. And that comes from, the relationships that we form and choose to make children affect the children. And when children grow up in these tumultuous relationships, it affects the way that they relate to other people and feel connected to other people in the world around them. And when they don't have those normal connections, then they go seek out connections because everybody needs to be connected.
Now, hold on, Jay. This black man got a question, but before that, now you done talked to a couple of children, right?
Who?
From you.
I think
you talked to Uma and Jacob, right?
Yeah.
And the other
Prince.
Yeah, and Prince.
Right.
But something ain't normal.
No, what I'm talking about with Nature Boy, the way you seen how he was acting, and to have people follow him.
Well, the people that's with him now have been following him for a while.
That's the one that's been there since the beginning.
Yeah,
you've seen the videos where he got them kneeling down on the ground while he's like reciting, I'm your God and stuff like that.
I read an article the other day, and it was like he's psychologically damaged, and he drew these people to him, and they, he basically brainwashed them into being his slaves. And now he don't know what to do with them because he's like, what the fuck?
Yo, what about the girl that goes over there for a couple weeks, comes home and stabs her mother to death?
Yeah, that one.
You know, like people are going there crazy to start, and instead of going for therapy, they're going to
Yeah, there was one that had a psychotic break after she came back, but something was already wrong with her.
Like if we're to understand this, right? Like most of the like across the range with white people, black people, Asians, everybody, right? That line of spirituality is a place where, not to say people are mentally ill like they're crazy, but you know, people who may be suffering a little depression or suffering anxiety or like not very bad. And different things like that. They go and get crystals and they help them and they feel more confident. They listen to these spiritual and they help. They meditate and things like that, which is like alternatives to therapy and psychotropic meditation, right? So then you have people who probably really need to be on psychotropic meditation that think they can do spirituality. Right. And you can't do that with every condition. So if you got schizophrenia, you can't cure schizophrenia with crystals.
Jay.
You can't say
meditation is gonna make it worse because then you're gonna think the things that are talking to you were real.
Right. So
that man had a question. He says, he wants to know about when you started playing Pure Imagination, the Disney song. You was feeling like Willy Wonka?
Who you asking that?
You.
I don't know what you're talking about. I don't know what you're talking about.
An interview.
He said it.
And then you started. Was that you? You didn't do that?
Oh,
No, that wasn't me.
Oh, that was. He said that wasn't him.
No, that was
Somebody who was covering.
No, that was Nature Boy. I wasn't playing none of that shit. I ain't playing no
You know, people don't use the gold bit to try to.
See, that's my thing, right? If that's what I'm gonna make it interview.
Oh, you want to know what you thought when he played?
I thought he was bugged out. When I seen him, I thought he was bugged out. Man, before when you first see him, he was bugged out.
I saw a couple moments.
Yeah. But see, next and then you get those other broken people surrounding.
Yum.
Yeah, I do feel that it was my program that probably got him knocked up because the police was watching that shit.
Yeah.
They've been watching him now. He's been
watching him. But
yeah, but he said
he want to say he the one that brought down Nature Boy so bad.
And then he went on, what was it, Nico, and then after that he went on Twitter and did some really explicit stuff. So if that was why, that's probably why he got busted.
Yeah. Like, I think that when Eugene got locked up, and then when Young Pharaoh got locked up right after that.
Well, Pharaoh home, right?
Pharaoh
I think he was tired. Yeah, I think he was tired and didn't know how to end it, and he knew if he came back to the States and did some wild mess, they was gonna get him. And then he figured the problem solved, somebody else got to deal with him. But then think about it. If they lock him up, somebody else got to deal with the rest of them.
The problem
and if he got what you think he got, he ain't gonna last long.
The problem, the real problem is that Nature Boy in any prison is going to duplicate himself.
I believe he's going to control the niggas too.
Yeah, he's going to duplicate.
They wouldn't put him in Gen Pop.
He's in Gen Pop right now.
Lord Jesus.
Like, he's been here for about a week, right? So right now, so you know, he's getting acclimated. He's probably trying to figure out where he can get some suits, and you know what I mean. People are probably looking out for him, and he's telling them, and he's kicking stories to him. I'm a political prisoner, and he probably got niggas listening. So at this point, by this point right now, he got at least one or two niggas that's giving him some commissary. And he's probably promising that when his people give him such and such or whatever, And he's gonna make his wives come through for him, like either the females or the males. They're gonna come through and they're gonna send him some money. That's what they put Musa on. Go collect. That's why he's running over all of the members that left. Saying you need to give him some money. You need to donate. You need to do this because
they even call Phoenix Rising.
Yeah. And he's not hearing, like when my man was telling him like why I'm not doing that shit, he's not hearing it. And that's how I knew they put him on that job to go get money. So he's not hearing shit. He's gotta go figure out who
brainwashed.
And he's slow. So he don't know who to go ask. He's just calling everybody to try to get money from them. Because he's gotta get Nature Boy at least $100. So that Nature Boy can go to commissary and then go provide for the niggas in jail. And once he starts giving up his bag in commissary for niggas, he's not having it. Yeah.
Then they getting evicted on the 30th too. So where they gonna go?
They want some fool with more resources than brains.
Oh, Jay.
But I don't see Nature Boy coming home.
Nope.
And then the thing about it is, and this is where the Sinetta comes into play, right? If the feds are watching the Sinetta, then the feds are saying that all these guys are, at least they may not all be working together, orchestrated like that, organized. But I can go find out who to lock up right on this platform. So all those guys who got aspirations of starting their own cult may want to fall back. Might want to, go get therapy, go to school, shit like that.
Find something constructive to do.
I mean, shit, that's what I'm doing. I want to find something constructive to do because I realized that, I had, when I came home from jail, I was working in nonprofits and doing, community outreach work and prisoner advocacy work and things like that. But when I shifted that into the conscious community, thinking I was taking it to the next level.
If that shit ain't caught on by now, Jane.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Oh, damn, I'm dozing off, man. I ain't never been on this shit that long. Yeah, you woke me up. You killed my whole night.
I woke you up.
All right, I'm out of here.
All right.
Peace.
Pick me up.
I'm out of here. I'm alive.
No, pick
He said, "What about it?" He said, "Get out the room."
What an interesting evening.
No, Jane. No.
So fast. Lord, I've been out for 7 hours.
The rest of that is us winding down. But y'all get the gist now. I'm going to go ahead and close out. This is TripCTreehouse, where it's always swinging.